Children to inherit your fear or your freedom. Because this land, my land, our land is choking. The drums are back. They beat in the hearts of youths. In classrooms where questions grow teeth, in streets where silence has been exiled, we are bleeding. Bleeding from borders inward, the north trembles under hunger. The west burns in the war of brothers. The Anglophone child prays for light while bullets write lullabies in the night. We have turned funerals into festivals for forgetting. We've learned to clap for pain and call it endurance. We wear our oppression in silence, like medals on a soldier's chest. Africa, we've been so patient with pain. We've kissed the boots which trampled over us, smiled at the men who sold our names. We've called injustice fate and corruption culture. But this is the generation that refuses to kneel. We are not afraid. We've already been caged by poverty. We are not afraid of death. We pee every day in slow motion. We are not afraid of wars. We've lived, cooled, and grown in one all our lives. From Sudan to Congo, from Cameroon to Mali, from Niger to Nigeria, the continent is crying in the same language. Enough! Do you want your children to inherit your fear or your freedom? Because this land, my land, our land is choking. The drums are back. They beat in the hearts of youths. In classrooms where questions grow teeth, in streets where silence has been exiled, we are bleeding. Bleeding from borders inward, the north trembles under hunger. The west burns in the war of brothers. The Anglophone child prays for light while bullets write lullabies in the night. We have turned funerals into festivals of forgetting. We've learned to clap for pain and call it endurance. We wear our oppression in silence, like medals on a soldier's chest. Africa, we've been so patient with pain. We've kissed the boots which trampled over us, smiled at the men who sold our names. We've called injustice fate and corruption culture. But this is the generation that refuses to kneel. We are not afraid. We've already been caged by poverty. We are not afraid of death. We pee every day in slow motion. We are not afraid of wars. We've lived, schooled, and grown in one all our lives. From Sudan to Congo, from Cameroon to Mali, from Niger to Nigeria, the continent is crying in the same language. Enough! Do you want?
So it
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Biafra TV, known as USB Research TV. I welcome you this evening. As I welcome you, please endeavor to welcome another person through your like and you are sharing the program as you join. What we are here to do this evening is what we need to let you know to avoid Hadaino at last. Because as the Hadaino is looming in the door, is it going to be on your side? Or are you among those that are going to cry the Hadaino? Because whatever we are doing today, there is something we must pay for it. And the time to pay is fast approaching. The truth you are insulting today, the truth that you are doubting today, will come back to hurt you. You see this truth that you are doubting today. You see this truth that you don't want to stay on the path of the truth. Instead of that, you are running propaganda, lies, and deceits because of how much they give you, and you sow your future and the future of your unborn children and you are playing along with it, you will start paying before those children will pay. Because in many countries, they pay the price. Many countries in this world will pay the price. Many bad citizens like you pay the price. That is why I said Biafrans learn from the punishment Mexico, Algeria give to their people that was against declaration. We will not hesitate to bring in all these histories to you. You may disregard this message. You may open YouTube and walk away from it. But the time will come when we are going to refer you to today's program, like the way we are today, referring the words of Mazen and the Kanmas and the every other Genu Biafrans who are on this right track. This message you may disregard today will come back to hurt you. Because the message that's about Biafra, that the world disregard, has come back to hurt the people that disregard the message. That is why I am calling on you to come. Let us learn from history. Let us learn from those people that what we are passing through today, that they have passed through that and survived. That is why I'm calling on you, that you have to come. Let us face the reality. Let us look at those things that are very sacrosanct at this stage that we are into. Not those things that you are listening, not those things that you think you copy on Facebook and post and listen to what people talk. The reality, those are not the reality. The reality is that the Christian country that was lost from 1967 to November 28, that this Christian country was being lost, and we have been on the wrong path from 1967 to 1960, from 1967 to 1970, we got it right. After 1970, we have never in our lifetime got it right. Look at the years of the wrongdoing of the people of Biafra after Ojukwu lost the war. The consequences of the loss of this Christian country is why Christians are being persecuted today in all over Nigeria. The loss of this Christian country, Republic of Biafra, is the reason why that people are being kidnapped. That is the reason why people are being butchered every blessed day. The loss of this Christian country is why you are in abroad today. If this Christian country is not lost, you might not be in abroad, or even I myself will not be in abroad, like as you call it. I want you to know that from November the 29th, 2024 was the first time ever that we have started getting it right. That is why the world is talking about Biafra everywhere in the world at this stage that we are into, whether you like it or not. But this truth must be preached, and we are here to remind you and warn you of the impending danger. You, that is a Biafran, that is fighting against US declared, you are digging your grave. You are bringing pains and sorrow to your entire generation, because the consequence is very painful. The consequence is too tortured. The consequence, you can carry it. The worst part of it, that as you, as in person, that are bringing these pains and these consequences upon the unborn generation. You will not be there when the unborn generation will pay the price of what you as a father been committed. Because of what? Those who fight against America redeclaration in 1917, they, as their children, are still paying the price today. Their children is still paying the price of the sins of their father. If you are up to 18 years and you are still supporting IPOB organization, your father alone will not pay the price. You will also pay the price. It's like play. It's like they are who are there. Is that what are they doing? That's why I said this message that you are disregarding today, the insults, your saboteur, your propaganda, your lies against our innocent virgin redeclared United States of Biafra that you are sabotaging and you are happy today. He who laughed last, laughed the best. This message that you are sabotaging today and you are smiling and laughing, the last of it will be sorrow, tears, pains that you have brought upon yourself. You are digging your grave. You are sentencing yourself. That is why all genuine Biafrans must adhere to support USB declared as our own country in this time that we are into. I am not here to tell you what will please you, but I am only here for you to know that you are on a wrong track. When you are not supporting USB, you still remain on that wrong track after the 1970 war that ended, when we lost the Christian country. The loss of this Christian country is why Nigeria is bleeding today. The loss of this Christian country is why you live in fear. And you have transferred the fear into your sons and your daughter. They also live in fear. But you supporting yours declared is only way out of living in fear and this impending danger that is looming everywhere. This darkness that is coming to Nigeria. Only when you support yours declared is the only time that you are getting it right. And from November 29, 2024, from that moment that our people gathered in Helsinki, Finland, and our DPM lower Nigeria flag and raise the flag of Nigeria and redeclare the lost country, that is the only time that we have started getting it right. Support the Christian country to end the massacre of our people. Support the Christian country to run out of punishment. Because many countries in the past that undermined when their people was fighting, including the sisters, all of them got punishment and being banned, and they faced a very big problem in their life. Is it what you wish yourself? Is it what you want to your life? I am telling you to desist from this evil that you are trying to brought upon the unborn generation.
The time IPOB came, first was Masop. It was Like came, and he suffered and suffered and suffered. Sometimes I can understand frustrated him. He suffered and suffered and suffered, went to jail, people were killed. Sabo ganged up. They kept frustrating him to the point where they converted him into a Sabo like themselves. You don't know, I read all those things. I took time, I studied everything. I knew. I know that there would be obstacles. I knew it. I know our people will fail. That was why before I went to the zoo in 2015, I said, I will not let you down, but you will let me down. But fortunately for me, you don't know how much I love IPOB. You don't know how much I love you people. You have no clue. You have no understanding. As I was in jail, I was in detention, incommunicado. Somebody came to me and said, do you know what is happening outside? I said, no. They said IPOB have blocked head bridge in Onitsha. They have taken over everywhere. I said, what? He said, yes. I said, why? They said, because they will not let you down. I shed tears in prison. I said, my God in heaven. They said, we will not let our leader down. He said it before he was arrested. My deputy general went to the archives and brought out the clip where I said, I will not let Biafrans down.
Sorry.
They will.
Oh, God.
You see this?
Oh, God.
But they will let me down. Biafrans went mad all over the world. They blocked the bridge on it for 4 days, and the world knew who Nnamdi Kanu is. Do you see how we roll? Then how can I disappoint such people? Rather than disappoint them is impossible. Impossible. Do you see how we came to where we are today? Why people Gabiam is with us? Why anything we touch turns into gold? Why we are able to do things that other mortals cannot do? The time IPOB came, first was come up my screen.
The sense in the Bible. They sent it today. It is good for them in the Bible. If a woman be like Nnamdi Kanu, they are not prophets, they are not pastors, but God will use them. They are truthful people. God will use them to save their people from the hands of their enemy. That is why their history was written down in the Bible. That is Nnamdi Kanu for you. Check that in my position on your you might level of honor. You might be on rejected. You might be on saying no. Assess or you well. That is why they look at the man and say, no, this man wants to spoil our business in this country. That is why they delay for a long time to know whether he will change his mind. And they think that the lion are more wide. The lion became more furious. The lion became more dangerous that he cannot change his mind. And they thought immediately they announced, yeah, Osefa Bikosian. No, why? When they're moving, they did not talk. Enter, let's go. It's in a prison. Let's go. Yeah. People video him when they're carrying him out. They say, Dalon. These are what they call people that are fighting for freedom. They are the freedom fighters. These are Mandelas. I pray for you. I pray for you. Keep on praying.
The saint of our lives in our own time in the Bible. That is why Biafra will have their own Bible. And we are going to read our own Bible. Mazen Khan is a saint. Simon Epanjoko is a saint. Ngozi Rabeza is a saint, whether I like it or not. These are people that take it upon themselves to fight for their people, to liberate their people, to give them the life and remove us from fear. And you are wasting your time. Like I told you, As I welcome you, please welcome another person by through your like and your share. If you can do so, endeavor to do so by liking and sharing the program. That is how you invite people to come and join us. Our program today, our headline, Biafrans learn from the punishment Mexico and Algeria in Africa give to their people that was against their declaration and their diplomatic recognition. Those spoilers, like those people call themselves the organization of IPOB, those bridge, fallback Ogenkere, those CRC, those BGC, and all these noisemakers, learn your lesson, because you will never win against peaceful declaration documents. Learn a lesson from others, because what we are doing today was what their people did in their own time. And that is what you are representing today. You are here today representing darkness, saboteur, like those at my back on the screen you are seeing. All these people, I am giving you message, all of you that are flowing far back, BGC, Bridge, IP organization, learn your lesson. Learn from these countries. I'm going to be reading you the punishment they give to their people, the measurement of their saboteurs and betrayers. You have now been judging yourself, because Biafra Constitution must judge. And I am happy that people like you, Shiamaka, Jameson, Akwara, all of you knows about Biafran Constitution. It's not after we declared the Constitution was there. The Constitution was there before, including all of you, when all of you were there. And all of you are those who join hands to write this Constitution. Omaracho alagabu yoso n'anya. Onye maracho me alagagbago so n'anya. Ifru nwa nara na-enyesi unu. Unu ga-emecha na ebe akwa. Had I know will come at last. So, let's go into the program fully. Let us start with Mexico. Mexico is a Christian country in the world. Let us see the punishment they give to the people that was against their movement. Listen to this.
Following the consummation of Mexican independence in 1821, Spain stubbornly refused to recognize the new country's sovereignty. Spain held onto the fortress of San Juan de Ulua in Veracruz harbor to block trade, and rumors of a Spanish reconquest created an atmosphere of intense paranoia. To protect its fragile independence and force global recognition, the early Mexican Republic enacted severe, sweeping punishments against any residents or citizens suspected of favoring Spain or opposing Mexico's international recognition. 1. Capital punishment for treason. The earliest laws passed by the nascent Mexican government made it clear that dissent regarding sovereignty was a mortal offense. The law, early decrees established that any resident who openly spoke out against Mexican independence, sabotaged diplomatic recognition, or assisted Spain would be legally classified as a traitor. The execution, the most famous enforcement of this, occurred during the Arenas Conspiracy of 1827, a plot led by a Spanish friar named Joaquin Arenas to overthrow the government and return Mexico to Spanish rule. When the plot was uncovered, the Mexican government executed the conspirators, including a Mexican general, Gregorio Arana, and several friars by firing squad for treason. 2. Stripping of public office, the Empleos Law. On May 10, 1827, Mexico passed a decree targeting peninsulares, Spanish-born individuals, many of whom had lived in Mexico for decades and considered themselves citizens. The punishment: the law completely banned Spanish-born individuals from holding any civil, military, or ecclesiastical church position. The impact: this effectively crippled the livelihoods of thousands of people, forcing Spanish-born judges, soldiers, and the majority of Catholic clergy out of their administrative spaces until Spain formally recognized Mexico. 3. Mass expulsion and exile, leyes de expulsión. As the threat of a Spanish invasion grew closer, ultimately manifesting in the failed Spanish invasion of 1829, the Mexican Congress shifted from removing people from office to throwing them out of the country entirely. Between 1827 and 1833, Mexico passed several expulsion laws. The first wave, December 1827, ordered the immediate exile of all unmarried Spanish men, soldiers who had surrendered during the war, and regular clergy. They were given 6 months to leave the country. The second wave, March 1829, expanded the expulsion to target married men, merchants, and landowners. Roughly 3/4 of the Spanish-born population living in Mexico was forced into exile as refugees. The law explicitly stated that these exiles would only be allowed to return to their homes once Spain extended formal international recognition to Mexico. 4. Confiscation of property and wealth. To fund the young republic's massive military expenses and punish those loyal to Madrid, the state targeted the wealth of anti-recognition citizens. The government systematically stripped expelled individuals and loyalists of their haciendas, large estates, businesses, farms, and personal fortunes. Their properties were seized by the state and redistributed to loyal Mexican criollos, Mexican-born elites, or used to pay off national debts. The eventual resolution, this era of harsh internal persecution, finally began to cool down in late 1834 when General Antonio López de Santa Anna revoked the remaining expulsion laws. On December 28, 1836, Spain finally signed a peace treaty officially recognizing Mexico as an independent nation, allowing surviving exiles to legally return and reclaim their civilian lives.
I hope you are listening. This is what happened in Mexico. Both the citizens of Mexico and those citizens of Spain who claim they are the landlord in Mexico. I will play it again before I go into our analysis. Or we play and pause and explain because of our time. Just continue from the beginning.
Following the consummation of Mexican independence in 1821, Spain stubbornly refused to recognize the new country's sovereignty. Spain held onto the fortress of San Juan de Ulúa in Veracruz harbor to block trade, and rumors of a Spanish reconquest created an atmosphere of intense paranoia.
You had it here that when Mexico declares their country, Spain, who are the oppressor against Mexico, refuses to recognize them the same way Nigeria refused to recognize US when they declared. This is what happened in 1921. Spain was so stubborn like Nigeria. Spain refuses to recognize the new sovereignty that was redeclared, that was declared by Mexican people. Mexico issued official declaration of their country. There was a time Mexico was like us. There was a time Mexico was like the people of Biafra today, that we are seeking for recognition. Mexico was in this shoe that we are today. When Mexico was in this shoe that we are today, the people, the citizens of Mexico, colluded with the citizens of Spain, attacking the declaration and also attacking the sovereignty, that the new nation sovereignty, that are seeking for diplomatic recognition after they have declared it and have their document in their hand. Mexico passed a very severe punishment, torture, life sentence, death sentence, firing squad sentence to their own people, including the sisters that was against Mexico movement. And they all paid according to their price of their sin and what they have committed in their own time. Learn from what happened to them. Who are those that Mexico put under this punishment? Those was against one, the declaration of Mexico, that Mexico have issued declaration. We are no longer under Spain. That they are no longer under war Spain. That Mexico, we are a country right now, a country of our own. We are a country of our own. We are no longer under any organization or under any country in this world. And when Mexico issued this declaration, what is happening today to us happened in Mexico in 1921. The people of Mexico, the sisters, the reverend, the Catholic sisters, was against the declaration of Mexico as a country. Why? Was against their own freedom. And even when they start seeking for diplomatic recognition, their people was against it. Like what you see Ogenkere doing today. What you see Mama Abudem doing today. Like what you see IPOB organization doing today is what Mexico passed through in their own time. But what happens? Let's continue.
To protect its fragile independence and force global recognition, the early Mexican Republic enacted severe, sweeping punishments against any residents or citizens suspected of favoring Spain or opposing Mexico's international recognition.
Are you hearing it? To protect its fragile independence and the force global recognition, the alien Mexico Republic entered a service sweeping punishment against any resident or their own citizens that was suspected working with Spain. Never allowed them to move. Before they issue this punishment is after they have made a declaration of a name, Mexico Republic, as a country. Their people turn against the declaration. That wasn't enough. When they are seeking for diplomatic recognition, like what USB is seeking today, an appropriate way of getting it right, people like Ogenkere, people like Imam Maduabu, people like Adono Wu, people like Chiamaka Ajerwe, people like Sonia Akparawa, people like Pole in France, all these nonsense people, they emerge. The same people in Mexico start attacking the government that issued the declaration of of Mexico as a country. They start the attack. They start attacking the government to the extent they want to stop the declaration. After the people that made up their mind and succeeded on the declaration, they sit on against when they are seeking recognition. Do you hear it today? That in Mexico seek recognition after they have issued declaration and have the document of the declaration in their hand. After Mexico have issued declaration and they have the declaration in their hand, their people turn against them. Their people become obstacle. Their people turn to become oppressor. And what happened? Mexico gives them a lesson of their time. They pay the price.
1. Capital punishment for treason.
Mexico tell that any of their citizens who is against declaration, who is against recognition, that insulting the government that issued declaration, Mexico said capital punishment for treason. Mexico declare all of them treason. Once you are against it, your crime is treason. Once you are insulting the government, once you are working against the government of Namibia, once you're working against the government of Mexico, that's the organization that issued the declaration of a country, Republic of Mexico. Once you are against it, they charge both the citizens and those of Spain who are in their territory still attacking them. They they put all of them what? Under the law of what? Treason. They said it is a capital punishment for treason for anyone that was against two things: declaration and recognition of Mexico.
The earliest laws passed by the nascent Mexican government made it clear that dissent regarding sovereignty was a mortal offense.
Are you hearing it? The earliest law passed by the nascent Mexico government, this nascent was the organization that transitioned into exile and the issue of official declaration of Mexico as a country. And what happened? They enact law. And the law, the government, the Mexico government made it clear that direct regarding a sovereignty was a very heavy mortal offense. If you are attacking, insulting the declaration government and the one that are seeking for diplomatic recognition of Republic of Mexico, and they put all their citizens, any citizens of Mexico or any residents from any country where you are, and you are in the territory that was being declared, this is a territory of Mexico. What happens? They told, if you talk against us, you are committed treason.
The law, early decrees established that any resident who openly spoke out against Mexican independence, sabotaged diplomatic recognition, or assisted Spain would be legally classified as a traitor.
Are you hearing it? The law, earlier, they established that any resident who openly spoke out against Mexico independence or sabotaging diplomatic recognition or assisting Spain will be legally classified as what? A traitor. All the way from Mexico. All the way from Mexico, their history. That you that is attacking US will declare it. When you come to my platform, you attack this platform. Come with your arena because you must pay the price. You are hearing it here. That any resident or any citizens of Mexico who is against the declaration and word regarding the international recognition or diplomatic recognition of Mexico in their own time, that you will pay, and all of them was being charged with treason. And the Mexico people, the Mexican government that issued the declaration to see them as a traitor. That's why I said a time has come when we start writing down all the names of saboteurs. We will jotting down their name, both on the comment section. We know that they will change their name, but one question will trigger, they will confess very soon.
Execution. The most famous enforcement of this occurred during the Arenas Conspiracy of 1827, a plot led by a Spanish friar named Joaquin Arenas to overthrow the government and return Mexico to Spanish rule. When the plot was uncovered, the Mexican government executed the conspirators, including a Mexican general, Gregorio Arana, and several friars by firing squad for treason. 2.
You may disregard this message. You may look at the message and walk away from it. But when we talk about redemption, this is the real redemption that I want you to know. Redemption means I need to redeem your mind to tell the truth, give you an example where what we are doing to has happened, so you can stop your madness. Now that you are committing this crime, you see it as nothing. When the Hadino knock at your door, then you will cry loud and the law will deal with you severely. The execution of those that was against the declaration and the diplomatic recognition of Mexico. The most famous enforcement of the occurred during the Arana Capares of 1827. A plot led by Spanish fighter named Jacob Arena to overthrow the government and return Mexico to Spain rule. He wants to overthrow the government. Like what Oge Nkire is doing today. Like what Oge Nkire is doing, is trying to overthrow the United States of Biafra government. I am giving you a short message. I am giving you the real redemption. That is what I'm giving to you. I am giving you something that will make you to think and ask yourself, am I acting like these people of Mexico that was faced, that they was against, that Morocco, that Mexico will never declare their declaration or made a declaration? When the declaration happened, they was against it. When the Mexican government that issued declaration is trying to look for diplomatic recognition, they was against it also. That is what Tana Akrawa and the layers and the Oge Nkire and any other group today that was attacking down on USB, that is what you are doing. There is no two ways about that. There's no two ways about it. What happened? The Mexico government executed and they captured, including the Mexico General Greg Arena, and service and the several firebys and served them what? By firing squad under treason. They executed all the men that form another organization that was attacking the real government that issued declaration, immediately they achieved recognition. Immediately, Morocco achieved recognition. Sorry, Mexico. They did what? They send all these rebels under the firing squad with the law of their country, treason, and they're all gone. That is what you're wishing yourself. Whenever you are attacking USA declared, that is what we are up to. That is what we are going to use on you. The firing squads terminate both a citizen of Mexico that was against Mexico declaration. Listen to what happened to every other country in this world. That's why it said it's a night for us to learn a lesson. If you are attacking usually declared, learn your lesson. Learn a lesson from this that's happened in Mexico. Learn your lesson. Learn your lesson. If you are against usually declared, learn your lesson. Repent. It can be forgive, but never to forget.
Stripping of public office, the Empleos Law. On May 10, 1827, Mexico passed a decree targeting peninsulares, Spanish-born individuals, many of whom had lived in Mexico for decades and considered themselves citizens. The punishment.
Are you hearing it? We are coming to the punishment. Stripping of public office. On May 10, 1827, Mexico passed a decree targeting Spanish-born individuals, many of them who have lived in Mexico for decades, and they consider themselves citizens. Then after they have dealt with their own citizens, they channel it to the Spain citizens that are claiming the owner of the land. that are claiming that they are citizens of Mexico in the territory of Mexico. What is the punishment? Listen.
The law completely bans Spanish-born individuals from holding any civil, military, or ecclesiastical church position.
Are you hearing it? They passed the decree and the law completely banned Spanish-born individuals from holding any civil, military, or church position. No position, both military, both on the civil rule. They never allowed them to come close. They did what? They did give them what? Punishment. Heavy one. Please like and share the program. If you wish to like, you can like and you can share the program. So, they give them what? Punishment. Remember, before they start giving outside a punishment, they first use firing squad, crack down all the citizens of Mexico that was against declaration. One, that was against the diplomatic recognition of Mexico. This is the offense. And they said that any citizen of Mexico that was against the declaration, that was against recognition, that you are committing treason under the law of the treason of Mexico. They use fire squad to remove all the cabals in their territory.
Impact. This effectively crippled the livelihoods of thousands of people, forcing Spanish-born judges, soldiers, and the majority of Catholic clergy out of their administrative spaces until Spain formally recognized Mexico.
Are you hearing it? The impact. This effectively crippled the livelihood of thousands of people, forcing Spain-born judges, soldiers, and their majority of Catholic clergies out of the administrative space until Spain formally recognized Mexico. Do you see how they move? They first dealt with their own. After dealing with their own, and they did what? They decide to extend hand to the visitors that are living in their territory who claim that this Mexico is their country. And what happened? To the extent of inside Catholic clergies, chase them, strip all of them off their position. If you're a bishop, or if you're a reverend father, or if you're a reverend, whatever you may be, so far you are from Spain, they remove. If you're a soldier, if you're a judge, no. It triggers what? Spain now know that they must recognize Mexico as a country. That is how Mexico get recognition from the hands of Spain. So it's from Spain that Mexico achieved their freedom from.
3. Mass expulsion and exile. Lías de expulsión. As the threat of a Spanish invasion grew closer, ultimately manifesting in the failed Spanish invasion of 1829, the Mexican Congress shifted from removing people from office to throwing them out of the country entirely.
Are you hearing it? They start throwing people out. If you have office in Mexico and you are against Mexican recognition and declaration, they said what? They start throwing them out, putting them into exile, both the citizens of Mexico and those of the Spain. And one thing that our people refuse to understand today is the meaning of declaration or redeclaration. You see, this our redeclaration. You do not understand the power. You don't understand what to have done. Now, if you look at this case of the history of Mexico, is those that issue declaration of Mexico out of Spain is the one that even Spain at last recognized. Is those one that with the peaceful declaration of Mexico is the one that the world recognized. They never leave them to recognize those that was against declaration. They never leave them to recognize those was fighting against the diplomatic recognition of Mexico. I hope you are following. I want you to see it clearly. And I want to understand that what you are doing today, that you are digging your grave, and you must push yourself to everlasting exile. People like go 247, they will die in Spain and bury in Spain. Because so you go to Biafra, feel on the as the threat of a Spain invasion grows closely, ultimately manufactured into a failed Spanish invasion of 1929, the Mexico Congress shifted from removing people that was against the movement of Mexico from office to throw them out of their country entirely, put all of them in exile, both to their own citizens and the citizens of Spain that was against the movement of Mexico. They threw all of them out, including their citizens that was against it. So tomorrow, if USB enact law that throw all these imbeciles, all these criminals, all these hijackers out tomorrow, I hope you are not going to even happen to be your brother. That's why I said there is no mercy. There's no forgiveness into what we are doing at this stage. I want you to follow carefully. Warn your brother who is against you declared. That's why I'm giving you what happened in Mexico, how Mexico punished their people, how the level of punishment in Mexico give to their people. When Mexico was fighting to exit from Spain, despite Mexico also using government in exile and issue declaration and is trying to achieve recognition, their people is their problem first. The sisters, the reverend sisters was the problem, including the citizens of Mexico and the non-citizens of Spain who was residing in decades in the territory of Mexico. They are there living before Mexico issued declaration. From that day, they are occupying an illegal territory of Mexico in their own time. Like the way Nigeria today is doing illegal occupying in our territory. Like the way Nigeria is occupying Biafra land illegally. That is what happened in Mexico. Mexico said, we strip them from their office. Once we are against the movement, immediately they achieve recognition for the first time before Spain not recognized them. What happened? They enact law. They use their law. If one day know all of them that was against the movement, what happened? They start doing what? They start closing your office down, take your office, and throw you out of the territory and told you, we don't know who you are. You were not a citizen of Mexico, and you that is a citizen of Spain, go to your country. And what happens? Game change. Punishment. After declaration, as they are seeking recognition, once they have recognition, they level them with a very severe punishment, including using firing squad against their own people. If it happens in Biafra after recognition, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? What if you happen to be your brother? Like I told you in America, only son of a man was thrown in exile forever. His father died, he never come back to see him because the law of America banished all of them not to come back again. That they are no longer a citizen of America and they can never seek asylum in America. Could you imagine such a law?
1827 and 1833, Mexico passed several expulsion laws.
Are you hearing
The first
it?
wave,
As the days are drawing close, Mexico continue passing several laws to deal with saboteurs, those who are sabotaging their movement.
For 1827, ordered the immediate exile of all unmarried Spanish men, soldiers who had surrendered during the war, and regular clergy. They were given 6 months to leave the country. The second wave...
I hope you are hearing the punishment. Both non-Mexico citizens and the Mexican citizens. What happened here? They said the first wave, December 1827, ordered the immediate exile of all the Spanish, both unmarried Spanish men, their soldier. All of them go back to your territory, and the Monaco proceed also giving their own people and the Spanish people 6 months for them to enter in exile and leave their territory for them. Who are those giving this order? Who are those making this law? They are the people of Mexico. I said what? They are the people of Mexico that issue official declaration of Namibia as a country. They are the one. They are the one. No other people. The one that has the document of the Declaration of Namibia, go and check history. Sorry, the Declaration document of Mexico is the one that what happened. That the world to grant recognition, they are the one who are chasing away those that was against, that was fighting for you, who is asking for peace. If Mexico can send people away in the territory, who are those people? The saboteurs, the betrayers. The saboteurs and the betrayers is what Mexico pass a judgment on their head, give them punishment, drive away their own citizens that never support the movement, or even those who supported and later betrayed them. They throw all of them in exile. Use firing squad on those who was against two things: declaration and recognition. Mexico used firing squad to face them. Mexico used firing squad. Face their own citizens. I am asking you tomorrow, if your brother is a betrayer and you're on USB side today, you believe that you have a country called United States of Biafra, that you are a full citizen, and your brother is doing saboteur, and tomorrow USB government, after recognition, decide to put this measure that Mexico used. I hope you will not turn against USB. Even if you turn, we will also send you in exile and banish you. Like Mexico, banish all the enemies. Like Mexico, banish those that was never support the movement. Imagine when a country said, anyone, when we are fighting that was against us, that the law used on all of you is treason. For that, they use firing squad, fire over thousands of the citizens that was a betrayer, like Ogen Kere, Imam Maduabu, and their followers, like Adakwole Kwole, like I don't know who, like our sister Onewune in Mexico. The Reverend Sisters was also those that in Mexico used firing squad to level them down, put them in life imprisonment. There is no country in this world that achieved the country without having saboteurs and betrayers. There was no peace when you're looking for a new country after declaration. So if anybody who is coming to tell you about peace is a deceiver, he's also a betrayer, he's also a saboteur. Mexico ordered immediate exile of all their own citizens, of all the Spanish people that was in their territory. They asked them, 6 months, all of you should disappear because we know all of you. Does it stop there? It didn't stop on ordering them to go into exile. They used firing squad on their own citizens of Mexico.
March 1829, expanded the expulsion to target married men, merchants, and landowners. Roughly 3/4 of the Spanish-born population living in Mexico was forced into exile as refugees. The law explicitly stated that these exiles would only be allowed to return to their homes once Spain extended formal international recognition to Mexico. 4.
I hope you are listening. This is what happened in this war that we are living. This is what happened in countries that you are today talking down on usually declared. There once a time every country in this world is just a new country seeking for what you usually declared is seeking for today. Since Tonewune, what the people of Mexico and Reverend Sisters who was sent by a firing squad is what you wish yourself. I wish you what you wish yourself with the Biafra Constitution. I wish you what you wish yourself with Biafran Constitution. The Spain-born population lived in Mexico was forced into exile as a refugees. The law exactly stated that this exile will only be allowed to return to their home once Spain extend a formal international recognition, even for those that are not the citizens of Mexico, like people of Spain. What happened? Mexico implemented their law. You will never come back until you tell your country to recognize. That is only when we allow you to come back. And it happens like that. You see strategies. You see, when you are seeking for a country, like now we are looking for recognition, we have to be very strict on what we are doing.
Confiscation of property and wealth to fund the young...
Confiscation of property and wealth. For the betrayer, both the Spain, both Mexico, so the government to take up all their properties and throw them into exile.
Public's massive military expenses and punish those loyal to Madrid. The state targeted the wealth of anti-recognition citizens. The government...
I hope you're listening. They found the youngest republic, massive military express, and punished those that loyalty to Madrid. Then the state targeted the wealth of an anti-recognition citizens. Listen, this is history. This is a lesson. This is what has happened in this world. This is what happened in countries, that how countries treated their enemies. I am giving it to you. That's why I said today that this is pure redemption, what I'm giving to you. We're talking about redemption. I am giving you a pure redemption to redeem your mind from that nonsense that you are doing. And stop being a betrayer and saboteur. And stop preaching for peace. After war, peace will come. He who wants peace will first prepare for war. After the war, peace will now come.
Systematically stripped expelled individuals and loyalists of their haciendas, large estates, businesses, farms, and personal fortunes, their property...
Are you hearing it? That the government that issued declaration of Mexico, after they have, as they achieve recognition, they start implementing laws. They start seizing properties. They start taking farms. They start taking people's business, those enemies. And you are in Biafra land today, and you are against what we are declared. When this law will knock on your head, And this is people that never believe that Mexico will be a country. This is people that never believe that Mexico will achieve recognition. They never believe. They was against declaration. They were the same way Ogen Kire was against to Biafra to be declared, that we should leave it and go back to America, that everyone should go back to the country where they come from. And the Ogen Kire is one of those, Chiamaka Algeria, voted that the Biafra will not be declared. I told business that if you like, we declared, if you like, can go back. They first start attacking declaration. After we have made it up to redeclare it today, they are still attacking the redeclaration, and they're still attacking diplomatic recognition, and they're causing news and social media. Chiamaka Algeria, the consequence of what we are doing today will come back. I know that you're not a Biafran, you are from Benin. That is why you are doing that. You are one Nigeria. You want us to remain with you in one Nigeria. The government of Mexico start seizing properties of both the citizens of Mexico, push them into exile, collect the initiative. They collect their farms, their business, and their personal fortunes and send them away. Tomorrow, if this happened to your brother who is against you to be declared, or any your family member, do not come out for protest, because we will not allow it. Because everybody, what you sow is what you will reap. You see these people that are changing names every time. You see people that are not using the social media, we will capture them. Don't worry, the time will come. Those that are using fake name, we will get all of them. One question, they will fall. Because we will do total screaming in Biafra land. To know those who stand with you as we declared. We shall do a total screaming in Biafra land. The time is coming. We know the question to trigger you. That time will come. So continue using fake name and do a comment section and writing garbage. Continue using your first name, your fake name, and attacking you as we declared. Continue. Continue using your fake name to be writing Jack on my comment section, on every question of Biafrans. The time will come. You will vomit. You must vomit. Just proceed.
These were seized by the state and redistributed to loyal Mexican criollos, Mexican-born elites, or used to pay off national debts. The eventual resolution, this era of harsh internal persecution, finally began to cool down in late 1834 when General Antonio López de Santa Anna revoked the remaining expulsion laws. On December 28, 1836, Spain finally signed a peace treaty officially recognizing Mexico as an independent nation, allowing surviving exiles to legally return and reclaim their civilian lives.
I hope you are listening, and I hope you are following. Look at Mexico. Look at how Mexico treated their own citizens and those who are not the citizens. That was against Mexico to become a country via peaceful declaration, via peaceful recognition. They was against it. And look at how all of them is being treated. Punishment, punishment, punishment. And look at how many years it takes Spain for them to recognize Mexico. Calculate from 1921 to 1936. How many years? How many years that you that is looking for magic that Nigeria will recognize Biafra? Recognize US will declared. Nigeria will be the last country. Nigeria will be the last. I want to play it fully again so you can listen.
Following the consummation of Mexican independence in 1821, Spain stubbornly refused to recognize the new country's sovereignty. Spain held onto the fortress of San Juan de Ulúa in Veracruz harbor to block trade, and rumors of a Spanish reconquest created an atmosphere of intense paranoia. To protect its fragile independence and force global recognition, The early Mexican Republic enacted severe, sweeping punishments against any residents or citizens suspected of favoring Spain or opposing Mexico's international recognition. 1. Capital punishment for treason. The earliest laws passed by the nascent Mexican government made it clear that dissent regarding sovereignty was a mortal offense. The law, early decrees established that any resident who openly spoke out against Mexican independence, sabotaged diplomatic recognition, or assisted Spain would be legally classified as a traitor. The execution, the most famous enforcement of this, occurred during the Arenas Conspiracy of 1827, a plot led by a Spanish friar named Joaquin Arenas to overthrow the government and return Mexico to Spanish rule. When the plot was uncovered, the Mexican government executed the conspirators, including a Mexican general, Gregorio Arana, and several friars by firing squad for treason. 2. Stripping of public office, the Empleos Law. On May 10, 1827, Mexico passed a decree targeting peninsulares, Spanish-born individuals, many of whom had lived in Mexico for decades and considered themselves citizens. The punishment, the law completely banned Spanish-born individuals from holding any civil, military, or ecclesiastical church position. The impact. This effectively crippled the livelihoods of thousands of people, forcing Spanish-born judges, soldiers, and the majority of Catholic clergy out of their administrative spaces until Spain formally recognized Mexico. 3. Mass expulsion and exile, leyes de expulsión. As the threat of a Spanish invasion grew closer, ultimately manifesting in the failed Spanish invasion of 1829, the Mexican Congress shifted from removing people from office to throwing them out of the country entirely. Between 1827 and 1833, Mexico passed several expulsion laws. The first wave, December 1827, ordered the immediate exile of all unmarried Spanish men, soldiers who had surrendered during the war, and regular clergy. They were given 6 months to leave the country. The second wave, March 1829, expanded the expulsion to target married men, merchants, and landowners. Roughly 3/4 of the Spanish-born population living in Mexico was forced into exile as refugees. The law explicitly stated that these exiles would only be allowed to return to their homes once Spain extended formal international recognition to Mexico. 4. Confiscation of property and wealth. To fund the young republic's massive military expenses and punish those loyal to Madrid, the state targeted the wealth of anti-recognition citizens. The government systematically stripped expelled individuals and loyalists of their haciendas, large estates, businesses, farms, and personal fortunes. Their properties were seized by the state and redistributed to loyal Mexican criollos, Mexican-born elites, or used to pay off national debts. The eventual resolution. This era of harsh internal persecution finally began to cool down in late 1834 when General Antonio López de Santa Anna revoked the remaining expulsion laws. On December 28, 1836, Spain finally signed a peace treaty officially recognizing Mexico as an independent nation, allowing surviving exiles to legally return and reclaim their civilian lives.
I hope you heard what's happened. For those who claim we are avid, we are VDV, it's not a way to have country. Those who claim they are Igbo veteran, all these things is different from having a new nation. All this is different from the criteria to have Biafras a country. AVD or DVD or whatever you call yourself, Igbo veteran, this is a different organization. This has no criteria on a way to achieve a new country. And this punishment must go to everybody. That's why I told you. You see this truth that you are undermining today, we come back to hurt all of you. Whether you are in America, whether you any country where you are in this world. I want to see what happened in Mexico. Remember the word declaration first. Remember the word government in exile. That issue of official declaration is the only way to have a nation. Look at the time of 1821. At a time of 1821, that this has started happening. It does not start today. We are not the first people to form government in exile. What we do is just repeat the history of how other countries in the world achieve their own country. There is no other thing that we are doing. And they all give their own people punishment in due time. The punishment will come to you, whether you like it or not. There is no way in this world that a government in exile that issue official declaration with a document that the world has leave them and recognized AVED, recognized Igbo veteran, recognized IPOB, recognized the bridge, recognized fallback. It never happened before, and the world said it's never going to happen. I am today was the first time I said that I am giving you a message of redemption. That's what I'm giving to you. To avoid Hadaino that will come at last in your mouth. Let's welcome our sister Ogonaya. Good evening from here. You're welcome. Thank you so much. You can have the mic. Are you there?
I am. Are you not hearing me?
No, you said you are safe. Now we can hear you now.
Okay. I just opened my phone. I saw you. I said, okay. Now it's been a long time. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You're welcome, Wanda.
Okay. I want to appreciate, first of all, you and the work you are doing, and every other person doing the same work you are doing. I thank God that everything is opening. All the confusions that we've once had, everything is getting clearer and clearer. Ndị Igbo tụrụ ilu si na ọ na-adị mma ka ikuku kuo ka ahụ ike ọkụkọ anya. Now, from A to Z, even the people that pretended that they are following Mazi Simon, those that pretended that they are following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, their nyash is opening. And it is, I am so much encouraged and I'm so much happy that now Biafrans are beginning to understand what is playing out. They are beginning to understand. Unlike then, when we are saying it, they will be saying a kind of, you are not saying the truth. Like I remember one lady in my office she's from Imo State. So one day we were just discussing on the issues that is happening in Alibo. She was mentioning the name of Simon Ekpa. I said, you don't mention the name of Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa knows nothing of what is happening in Igbo land. That go and ask your governors. They are the people that are destroying Igbo land. So as I was saying it, one of them again called Ngozi. She's the same Imo State. She was saying, Ogonaya, please, can you tell us that even we are confused of everything? But to cut the long story short, I'm so happy that even now, whenever I go to them, they don't have mouth to talk again. I told them that all these things are happening. In fact, they are the ones that are even asking me, how is Samuel Ikpa's case? And have they been able to release him? When is he coming out and everything? I said, that is how every Biafran is supposed to be talking. Even if you caught your sister or your brother in an action that you know that is true, first of all, you protect that your sister and your brother in the public. Then when you come home, you can now dig it out with him or her. Not following the public and slay your own person. Whereas these people you are following to slay your own person are the one protecting their own. So now, every hidden things that we do not know. They were saying that the declaration that Samuel Ekpa was not aware of any declaration, but thank God, in as much as the sister shifted from the right stand that she's supposed to, which I know that is when you begin to communicate with the evil. If care is not taken, that evil will rub up of you, and that was what happened to that sister. And it happened that she cannot tell lie. That was why she started coming out to speak out the truth. Now everybody have known that our DPM is not acting on her own decision. That everything she is doing, she has a directive. Then the scenario that they painted, because she is a woman, They now painted and give evil scenarios and start calling her name. Shame unto them. Everybody, even the layman, even the lowest to the lowest, have now know what is happening. And everybody is ready for them. Everybody is ready. Because I say, Abacha also, I go mile. Now, vam wu ọ na social media, ọ na-eti ka ebe a ga-asị masị nkịta ara. Let me just use that word. I hate using derogative words to people. But there are stages you will do something. It got to that stage that people will just quantify you wherever they want to quantify you. Now they have seen the truth and they cannot come out to talk. They cannot come out to talk. Look at what Chike Doziem and every one of them has done in Igbo land. Now, those people that they have killed, will they come out again? I am telling you, these people will pay for this evil they have done. They confuse our people. Send a different narrative. People are if not that you people came on board, I am telling you, we were totally confused because we don't know where to follow. But whenever you see the truth will still stand upright until the DPM came on board. We begin to see the light. Then the media now spread the light. I want to encourage all the media. Keep on the good work. Your work is paying. Now I have been able to know the power of media. I am telling you, it is you people that have killed this evil, and you people will kill them, keep them, they will enter 6 feet and they will never rise up again. Keep it up. Keep it up. Anyone that any evil narrative they pushed about, when you people come, you will use law to debunk them. You will use their own words to judge them because they really did a lot. They did a lot. The other day I was just recounting what has happened, the people that have died in Ali Igbo that is so peaceful. I was on my own, in my heart, I was shedding tears. I said, is it not mothers that own these people? They have mother, they have children, they have wife, they have father. You afflict your own person in the detriment of another people that will use you like a rag, and at the end, they will discard you. And that is what will be their portion. Ali Igbo can never accommodate them. This land that we are standing upon will judge them and judge their generation. So, sir, I want to encourage you to keep it up. You people should keep it up. God will bless you people. Even if we don't have anything to bless you people, God will bless you and bless all the medias, both independent media and government media. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's been long, like you said, Ogonna, you're welcome. Thank you so much. When people come like this, it gives us more strength to do more. What we are doing this evening, that I am giving out the punishment of Mexico and Algeria when they issued their declaration seeking for agreement. What there are people that was against them. What's these two countries to? I just want to pick on these two out of 100 and something of them to give us an example. I have given so for you to know, like our sister Onewune, who is trying to preach peace, there is no country that has come together to achieve it. No country in this world. None of them has come together to achieve it. That is why Mexico is telling that over thousands of their citizens was being thrown into exile. They took over their business and asked them not to come back again. They even used firing squad to fire a group of sisters and their brothers who was against the movement. Even stopped the bishop and the reverend fathers. They would remove them from their office forever and said, "You are all betrayers. You will with to torture us." That is why this message this evening is going viral to those are the clergies in Biafra land. Those are the bishops, those reverend sisters who refuse to know what we are doing. You will pay the price because the punishment must surely come.
Yes.
You will pay the price.
And another advice I want to give to our sister Olewunne, is a heartfelt advice. You know, in everywhere we are, there are what they call hierarchy of authority.
Yes, sir.
You cannot be a subject. I am working in an office and I have a direct manager. I have a direct boss. In fact, I have a supervisor, a coordinator that is higher than me. Then I have manager, which is deputy manager. I am reporting to direct manager straight. I cannot bypass my manager, no matter the information I might have heard. I cannot bypass my manager and go to my senior manager. It is not done. Even if I receive a message and that message concerns what we are doing within that office, and it revolving around my manager, one thing I will have to do is to go to my manager straight. This is the message I receive. Now I will tell him the message. It now left to him to give me a directive of how to go about it. He might say, okay, no, leave it, I will take it to Oga. He is the one or she is the one that will go and now report that thing to Oga. I cannot double cross him and I will go to Oga. Oga will send me back. That is the area that our sister defaulted.
Yes.
She has a job assigned to her. She should man her job. She should man her job and do it effectively. If there is anything revolving her job that needs to the Oga Patapata to know, she should first of all go to her direct boss and relate that issue to her direct boss. Then her direct boss know the best decision. Two of them can even bring out a solution of how to handle it before it will now go to Oga. She is a Christian. She should know hierarchy, spiritual hierarchy and the physical hierarchy. That is where, when I was listening to her broadcast, immediately I found where she defaulted. And I found what makes her to default is because you are having a focus on one direction and you are going this way straight.
Yes.
And you allow somebody by your side to distract you. You find out that if you are not careful, you will leave focus of what you are doing and start attending to the person by your side. That was what happened to her. But I pray that she should realize herself and apologize and return back to the focus where she is. Because if she says she wants to divert to the other side, they will derail her and drain the spiritual life out of her. They will derail and drain. Okay, in my church, I'm a leader. I'm a leader of fellowship in my church. And I have a senior. Anything that revolves the fellowship, concerning my fellowship, I go to that my direct leader. I cannot double cross my direct leader and go to the senior pastor. The senior pastor will send me back. Yes. First of all, first thing he will ask me, did your leader know about this? Immediately he asked me that question and I fail. He will use mouth to flog me. I should know the hierarchy. Because as the physical hierarchy is, that is how the spiritual hierarchy is. Exactly. Our DPM occupied the spiritual and the physical hierarchy. Now, as long as our two managers are not available, she occupies it. So we should not insult her. We should respect her and give her her place. Because if we default, the Spirit of God that is leading us to do this thing will leave. And once he leave, we have now sabotaged and we have disloyal. And we, in fact, we have made mess of our own life and what we are looking for. So my advice is for her to realize and go back to her first love. If we Christians will say first love, go back to that call that God has sent you in this struggle and continue doing it. Keep your hands straight. And I want also to commend her for saying the truth, because they have made us to know what transpired at the dark that we did not know. We also commend her for that. But we also tell her where she is wrong. Because it's people that loves you that will chastise you when you are wrong. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Wanda. You have made it very, that is what's called direct correction to someone. I know that no one is also listening on this page. Listen to what Biafrans are telling you. Not when you derail, you claim you love Biafra more than any other person. Only that your single voice can do nothing. And all of you that do not understand hierarchy in a government, that is why you must learn by force. Because in Biafra, that is how you know that law is real, and the law must control all of us in Biafra land. Let's welcome somebody. We have, is it Hand in our midst? Can you unmute your mic?
Yeah, one hard note.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, thank you. You can go on.
Okay, I don't really. Okay, so the main reason I need to join now is I want to just make a broad, give a broad advice to Ndi Igbo that we have to unite. And when I mean unity is, we have to discipline ourselves and put behind or aside any urge to pursue our ego, or prove that we are right. Because if you're a student of history, you know that part of the things that put us where we are has been our inability to work as a single unit. When Nzogu carried out that coup, he did not consult his older Igbo colleagues. He and the other Igbo guys, they did not look at Nigeria and say that Igbo people were in charge. They didn't consult, because if they had consulted the older guys, then they would have cautioned them. They went and they took a decision that plunged all of us into, so even though they had whatever good intentions for whatever reason, because those intentions weren't for us, it was for Nigeria. But you see how it damaged and harmed all of us. Now, even after they had done that, we had an opportunity to save ourselves and steer the course of the whole thing. Ironsi, when he took over, and he got intelligence report that there was a plot to kill him and massacre Igbos. He did not listen to the Igbo guy that came to tell him. What he was doing was he called all the officers. I don't know if it was Madiebo or Ojuku, one of them, that came to tell him, look, there's a plot to kill you and then pounce on our people. Don't think that he was a very lucky man to even have someone come and tell him that, because I hear that it was a northern businessman who got wind of that plot that came to tell whoever came to tell Ironsi. And Ironsi did not pay heed to that, and see what happened to him. Now, when after the war had started, Zeke, who was an Igbo man and who was like, in fact, he was a global status, on the global scene.
Yeah, he was. He was a global status. Yeah, he was.
He started from singing Biafra. I heard he wrote our anthem, and then I don't know whether he was jostling for power with Ojuku or whatever it was. All of a sudden, he decided to go over and denounce Biafra on the international scene and embrace Nigeria. Can you imagine that?
In the British is when he denied. When Ojukwu sent him for diplomatic work, then that is where he
Yeah.
denied and started thinking one Nigeria.
So you can see that we have a history of this ego. That is our greatest undoing in Nigeria. God has given us opportunities to be ahead. But you see, just this singular ego, one evil man, because of his ego, he will put all of us into trouble. Let me tell you, if you read the book written by Ben Boulier called The Five Majors, when they were plotting that coup, Ben Boulier mentioned to Nzogu that this thing that they are planning, are you including Yoruba? Because the plot was, they knew they were trying to help the Southwest because Awo was in prison and there are other things going on in the country. But when they pointed out that, so this thing they're doing now, how is it going to help us as Igbos? It's other people that are going to really benefit. If despite that, Nzogu, you know, he stuck to, I won't say only him because the other guys, Ifajun and the other guys and the guys in Lagos, they stuck to their guns, stuck to their plans. They didn't look ahead and say, this thing we're going to do, how is it going to affect our race? So that will bring me now to this current situation going on now with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You know, I've been following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for a long time. In fact, I'm actually related to Deni, but I don't know if you guys know that guy. One thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did to Igbos of this era was he took away that shame and stigma that were people giving to money. And once you brought anything and dangled, we will fall aside and just, that is one singular thing that man did. Not just that, this guy went across the whole world to unite us, a people that have been abandoned by the world. A people that Nigeria has done everything to destroy us. Nnamdi, I used to listen to Nnamdi Kanu. He will go to some countries and they'll be cussing, the Igbo people will come there to the gathering. This was like in 2014, 2013. And they will be abusing him, that he's trying to destroy us. And he stuck to his guns. He kept going and going. That time, if he come to America, nobody used to come. I'm telling you, he used to come to my aunt's house. Nobody will come. But he kept preaching it. And kept talking to our people. Kept talking and talk. Then they will contribute money for transformer. The whole radio there was, hey, where's our money for transformer? Everybody that they've eaten the money that he should go to Nigeria if he tries. Eventually, so that they were not asking them, so you want if we buy transformer, we'll come and put it and show you people. Eventually, they put the transformer in their own way and they started spreading the message to our people in Nigeria. Yeah, he's not a saint. A saint cannot do what he's doing. A saint will be in a monastery. For him to engage and put his people will say that he has not died. Okay, oh, you want to kill someone? Anybody that is saying that Mazi Nnamdi has not laid down his life is a very wicked person, an evil person. So if you have someone like Mandela, you can't kill him. Do you not understand his status symbol? He's a very intelligent man, and at the same time, he loves our people. So what do you want? You want to kill him and get rid of him, and then how does it benefit us? The millions of people. Do you know how many intellectuals we have lost trying to get Biafra? And people can have the mind to come now and be saying that then they have deposed him, he did this, he did that. Hi, so my brother, I'm just when people look, we should be very, do we even sit down and even think of what has happened to us? This thing is just, and what is still happening to us. Millions of our best mind killed like that. Just like that, no justice. Go to other places in Rwanda, at least they arrested many of them. They are still chasing them to today. Even the Jews are still going after those people that committed Holocaust in 1945. Show me one single Nigerian that has been brought to book for taking people from their bed. Bank managers, people working in Kanji Dam, people working in railway station, people going to school, headmaster, nurses, doctors, reverend sisters. You take them and go and slaughter them like chicken and kill them. And to no single justice, nobody has been brought. If you ask them, they'll say Iboku. And our people, you're not trying to pursue that justice. You're not trying to, you're supposed to have an intelligence team trying to track down all the people before they die and tie them in people like Gowon and all these people and send them to ICC. That is where our effort should be going. What we are doing is saying, fighting Mazin and the Kanu. Hi, any Igbo person doing it is shame on you. That he ate money, he did this, he did that. Meanwhile, Sultan has 40 or I don't know how many oil wells in our land, taking
42.
billions. You can't even quantify the money.
42.
You're a
42.
professor. You're a professor. You're in US. You're all over the world. Shame on you. How much are they paying you there? The northerners that don't even go to school, or if they come here and go to school, they go back. They are taking billions from your land because they understand the game. Do you know that Ahmadu Bello was supposed to become the prime minister, but he said no. He said he wants to stay in the north so that he will monitor the affairs. You remember, he doesn't like Igbo people, which he professed on BBC.
On BBC, yeah.
He said Tafawa Balewa his protege instead to the central and federal government. Could Zik have done that? Say Zik should stay in Eastern region and send whoever, Michael Okpara or whoever, to go and stay at the national level. Do you see the difference? That is where these people beat us at the game. The northerners, they know how to stick, they know how to fall in line. Because Igwebike, no matter, as an Igbo man, you will do everything you're doing, you get contract, everything, but when they isolate you, they will finish you. They will finish you. If it's individual strength, ability, Igbo people, we are unmatched. I can say that we are unmatched. But with all those things we have, look at where we are. If it's anyone you bring, you start reading all these accomplishments. How is it helping us in Nigeria? They want to chase us out of our land. All of our people are traveling out of the country. All of our young men, thousands, are in jails all over the world.
Yes, I want to tell you something, my brother. We have already come together. If anyone never joined the coming together of people of Biafra, you are delaying yourself. And that is why I believe in history. And what I'm doing today is part of history. That is why if you look at my comment section, my headline on my program, we say, Biafrans learn from the punishment Mexico and Algeria give to their people that was against their declaration of independence. Ojukwu tried for us to come together under the name of one country. Since we lost Biafran war, we have never got anything right in our lives. Since we lost the Christian country, Republic of Biafra, we have not gotten anything right in our life. And the only time from that 1967 finally stood that, track it down to November 28, 2029. So November 28, 2024, we are on the wrong path. The only first time we have right around to come together to get it right is what happened in Helsinki, Finland. This is how every other country comes together in the world. The indigenous people come together. You don't come together in the name of organization. You don't come together in the name of another, except in the name of this is our country. Let us come together to build our own nation. If we would never lost Biafra, those are being kidnapped today. What is happening in Nigeria could not be happening because we could have been another America, entire Africa, to save every Christian's life like the way America is saving and Israel is working today. These are those we can even save more. We can save life more than them. So anybody today who wants us to come together, the togetherness road has opened. It's left for you to join. That is why I'm doing this program this evening, to warn anybody to learn from a history. What's happened in Mexico? What's happened in Algeria? What's happened in Namibia? When Namibia trying to come together, they come together under the name Republic of Namibia. When Algeria are trying to build the colonial master, France, out of their country, they come together under the Republic of Algeria. When Mexico decide to come together, they come together under the name Republic of Mexico. This is how many countries, many people that are one, that believe in something good comes together. There is no other way of coming together except that we all accepted that we are in the continuation of the lost country to redeclare what happened November 2024. The United States of Biafra, the United States of Biafra is only way of coming together as one people to break Nigeria, to pieces Nigeria. The Mazen Nande can talk about. Mazen Khan, one of his brokers, January 1st, 2021, he said that the people of Biafra, that we should replicate the history of Syria, Somalia, and Yemen. That is how we will come together. When the people of Syria need to come together, they declare they did the declaration of Syria. When the people of Somalia decide to come together, they come together under the name Republic of Somalia. When people of Yemen need to come together, they come together under the history of a country. This is how we will come, because it's Nigeria. Is it working for you? For me, it's not, and it can never work again. It's only the
Nigeria can never work. Nigeria has never worked. In fact, let me tell you, one of the things a lot of us understand this, but one of the things we need to really do is to study what even made us to progress into the so-called one Nigeria, because that's our, it's like someone they set trap for.
Yes,
and they put a nice, good, and they put something enticing. And yeah, because if you ask me, people like Zeke and maybe all those people's there, because we were doing well.
When Educaman was warning Zeke, this way we are going, there is no road or no
exactly.
But I am no longer blaming them. I am blaming us in this 21st century that we decided to repeat the history of our forefathers who has ever gotten it wrong. I blame
we don't have to blame, but we need to study.
That is
because remember,
you made mistakes. And
good. See, one day we need to. This thing you're saying, many Igbo people understood that this thing is dangerous, but how did we bargain? How did we go ahead and then get in there? So it's something we should study and teach, because let me tell you, part of our ability to succeed when we were able to really establish our boundaries again as Biafra, is going to be dependent on our understanding of how the calamity that befell us, the mechanism, what happened.
Yes.
If we fail to understand it, let me tell you, we will be fighting. There'll be another civil war. Okay, look, imagine just now, we just look at what is happening. We don't even have our boundaries and see the kind of factions we have. So it's very important for us to really understand, how did we walk into a country where the people rose up and slaughtered us. That thing is not something, that this is not something that happened. Forget people keep talking of 1966. It's because Nigerians are very wicked people and very shallow. They want to be shallow-minded, but they are very wicked. In that Nigeria, there's a lot of evil and wickedness that's been committed there. But if you're a deep thinker, you will know that there's no way you can stand up and slaughter thousands of people because they say there was a coup.
Yes.
your neighbors, people you married, even your relatives. Yeah. And because look, check it now, Unzogu was born in the north. Unzogu was speaking Hausa. He's more like an Hausa person. Major Donatus Okafo, one of the coup plotters, his mother is a TV woman. He's not even a full-blooded Igbo person. You understand? Ademo Yega is a Yoruba man.
Yes.
And then other people. So for these people to follow the British, whatever media and British and Yoga, I don't know, Southwest media, and just start slaughtering Igbo people, you show that you see that there's been this deep-seated hate from maybe jealousy because of the way we were thriving in the society and our upper class status. So it's important for us to really study how we walked into this mess.
That is why I said, if you want to study this mess that we're into very well, you need to just go back and check the history, what happened in 1884. That is where the problem started. In 1884, if what we hold on then remain, we are not into this mess. So anybody who want to study why we got into this mess, go back to 1884 history. What happened in 1884? Then we find out where we are today and what we have to do and why what happened has happened, because we failed from 1884. The entire old eastern region fell when we allowed British to destroy the treaty we signed that we are a country on our own in 1884 before the 1960. After the 1960, after the war, and before the name Nigeria comes on board, if you go back to 1804, study from there, come back today, you will find out where we got it wrong and why we must go back to where we are going right now. Seriously. Because I have checked from that 1884 and come back to 2026, and I said, wow, so this is exactly what's happened. That is why I believe in history so much. And that is why it pains me so much that Nigeria removed history in our school. It pains me so much. So you can go on, my brother. Go on.
Yeah, you're very right, brother. We have to go back to, as you know, I'm not sure how way back in the timeline we have to go, but we have to go, you know, there are so many things that happen, so many negotiations,
yes,
so many killings, so many intimidations, so it's complicated. They came into us they used so many tactics, both religion and all sorts of things. So the only thing I know is that by 1960, Igbo people were now all over Nigeria. The British was using us to administer Nigeria.
Yes.
And but they were not. Let me tell you, my grandfather, around 1960, my grandfather was working in coal in Enugu. He had a white man, a white superior boss. And one day he called my father and told my grandfather and asked him, come. He showed my grandfather samples of you know, like sand, clay, humus, sand, you know, those different types of sand, you know.
Yes.
And he asked him, what is this? What is this one called? My grandfather said, I don't know. He asked him, what is this one? My grandfather said, I don't know. What is this one? So my grandfather said, can you tell me? Teach me. He told my grandfather, no. Go and ask Azikiwe. So the point is that Nigeria is not. Nigeria is like, imagine if you put effort now and build a company. You start working very hard. You put your money, you find investors, you find collaborators, you know, and even in the case of Nigeria, people died, you know, and you after that, you set up this company and you start making money, start making a lot of profit. And then one day, one of your workers that is you have promoted, you know, that is now in the board of trustees. He now start, because things have changed. Maybe he now see that you fell on a hard time, and people are putting pressure on you to sell the company or to give up the company. And that guy come up now and say, I think you should leave. I want to take this company. That's what Nigeria is like, you know. And then, what do you think that the owner of the company will do? The owner of the company will kill you instead of, yeah, he will not. How can you? Because you're a wicked person. How can you come and take his company from him? If you tell him, please, can you settle me? Give me some my own shares. Let me leave. That's different. But if you want to push him away to take the whole company, you disregarding his effort, the sweat he put into there, and you're disregarding also the investment for his own people and children. He will kill you, and that is what happened to Igbo people. Because by 1960, after they have used us to manage Nigeria, we are now the one who are pushing for independence, the strongest. Zeke and all those people speaking big grammar. So let me ask you, what will you do? You will say no. The best chance I have of retaining this my business is to take away this power from this man and his people, and give it to another humble person that will allow me to be taking a lot of gain and all the benefits that accrue, and maintain this thing, even if I leave the scene and it will look like I'm no longer there. And that is exactly what they did to us. You understand?
Yeah.
And so that's why if you see any,
there's one thing I find out through the history and secret document of British, why they use Biafrans to build Nigeria, and why they give the mindset that anywhere you are in Nigeria, and this is your home, only for the Igbo people of the old Eastern region. And that is what triggers the 1884 treaty to being break down and be destroyed, and said, if we allow these people to continue on this treaty, that we sign treaty with Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbos, the way that document was, that in this oil business, that these Igbos say costly to us more than any other tribe. That these people are too smart, that in general, that if we allow them, that they are going to break our artificial border we used to hold the whole Africa, that we need to end the treaty and scatter them. That is only the way, that when we allow them to be together with this particular mindset of who they are, that they are going to even destroy us, called British. And what happened? They start destroying all the agreements. They start destroying all the treaties. They start destroying everything about us, and give them the mindset from 1884 before the 1960 that they should travel to anywhere and do their business. That you people are the owner of Nigeria. You people are very intelligent, you are very smart. That was the ideology being given to Zeke and all of them, that make Zeke and all of them champion one Nigeria. Because the one Nigeria you are hearing today was being championed by the Igbo people. The first protest
absolutely.
The first protest in Nigeria to divide Nigeria was come from people of the north, to that Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria should be divided. It was from the northerners was the first people. When there was protesting, what the British used to calm them down, said, you are protesting. You does not have any water. You don't
resources.
Have
no access to the sea. Yeah,
no access to the sea. You better remain. Then we are going to use what they have. Now that we have told them that they should go all out, that everywhere in Nigeria is their home, that they can build a house, they can buy a car, they can marry from anywhere. I find this document today. This document I'm explaining right now, because I was searching for something, I bought into that document. I said, wow. So this is why. And they said that the only way is to divide them, use them to fight themselves, and use them to conquer themselves. Then we will have chance, you and the North, why we are using their oil money from their land to build railway train for you, and they allow them to suffer. That is the only way they can succumb by being under one Nigeria. But the issue today is that I am no longer talking about one Nigeria. The issue I am fixing as I'm talking to you today is that we have gotten it right. That's what the world was looking for us to give to them. If you are a secessionalist, or if you are fighting for having a new country, that the only way for you to give the world power is what they call external remedial secession. I am not talking about the history of Nigeria anymore, because there is no history under Nigeria. That is why they remove. They don't. Do you know that British was the one who introduced the Nigerian government that they should remove history in the school for us to not know who we are. And it happens. And the people are confused. So I am no longer talking anything about Nigeria. The only thing I'm here is what we end Nigeria. Now that we have gotten it right, through how Somalia, through how Eritrea, through how Sierra Leone, through how Yemen, through how Namibia, through Algeria, Ethiopia, Kenya, Angola, Zimbabwe, Congo, how every country in Africa got it right, even Ghana, even South Africa got it right, is where we are. What is the place? Transition into a government in exile and issue redeclaration of the lost country. This is how every other country in this world gets it right when they lost their country. So now that we have redeclared and I have found out the value of the declaration of what our DPM did on November 29, 2024, that is only way in the world that Biafra will become a country back. That is what I am champion today. My own is that I am a full citizen of United States of Biafra that was redeclared November 2024. When you talk about history, go and check how Poland they go back to their country. Go and check how Lithuania. Go and check how even Spain. Look at today, Mexico. So we only thing we have to do this time around is to let our people understand that we have got it right, that everybody should kill in and support your country, which is USB declared. United States of Biafra is the only way for us to end all this evil plan and all these killings. Without that, we remain where we are. Now, transition has happened. Join the transition, support the government, let's go home to our own country. This is only what I'm happening.
So you're very right. But let me say this: you say the way you've embraced Biafra, you understand this thing. You're one of the few Igbo people. It's true, many of us are passionate about Biafra, but I don't think we have that. I'm not sure we have that critical mass yet. What I mean is that I think what Mazi Nnamdi did with Radio Biafra was we are like a people that were in coma.
Yes.
So what he did was to wake us up. But the problem we have now is we are still some of us still, when you wake up from a coma, sometimes you still relapse back, depending on what is going on. So some of us, with things like maybe you see someone like Peter Obi, a lot of people rallying behind him, maybe I don't know, maybe one or two favorable things happen to them in Nigeria, then they go back to that coma. And but people like you and I who understand and are very committed, we are actually lucky. I'm telling you, because there are still many of our people that, let me give an example, that if they believe that if Peter Obi get presidency, now we face Nigeria, and then everybody people will be okay. So don't you see that those kind of people are even more dangerous? Because how can you Nigerians? So let me tell you, I tell my friends that Nigeria is like a man that is sick, and you brought doctors to fix to treat the person. You told him, you said there is one doctor that is a surgeon, and he's the only person that can treat your sickness. And he said, okay. And Nigeria now he kidnapped that doctor that was supposed to treat him and kill the doctor. And after killing the doctor, his sickness progressively got worse. And he's now going everywhere saying, hey, I'm sick, please help me. Now he's almost dead. Let me explain to you why. When Ozogo then came in, it was to clean up the place. They are killing people in Southwest. Awo was in jail. They were doing riots in TV land. They massacred TV people. The whole country was a mess. There was corruption everywhere. And some boys were brave and saying, you know what, let's take the bull by the horn. And you turn that whole thing and now blame it on a race. And even when you massacre them and the race, okay, we want to break out. Let's break out. Let everybody go. You say, no, you can't fight. So if you say, that's why I'm saying that we have to be, this history is important. Because if you understand that history, then how is someone to be pushing for P2B to go and win? Because if he wins and become the president, okay, 8 years, what will change? When he leave, for one Fulani man enter there with one pen, one stroke of the pen, he can change all the everything. In fact, then more Igbo people will spread everywhere, and we are going back to our state before 1960. How does that help you, really? So that's why the thing of history is very important for many of our people. Many of our people don't know what happened to us. I'm telling you. If you talk to most young Igbo people, they don't know that our brightest minds who graduated from UNN then, because if you graduated, there was jobs in the north. The northerners are not going to school now. So once you got your degree, if you didn't look around in the east, no job. You go to the north, construction company, Kainji Dam. Do you know in Kainji Dam, they said there were 6,000 Igbo people working there when they were building that company. I estimated 6,000. They killed 2,000 of those people. You understand what I'm saying? During that, this was before the war, that pogrom. So we have to be talking about they slaughtered our people. I don't know about you or family. They killed my mother's uncle, killed my father's 2 cousins that graduated from UNN. Most family, they will come and take. If you're a bank manager, anything you want, Reverend sisters, saying that we have to be saying it so that whoever is pushing for one Nigeria should know that that thing there is no justice for those people yet. And is this one Nigeria? In fact, you know that many of those people, some of them escaped the first time. They told them, go back. They gave them the assurance. Because there was that first wave where a lot of them ran back. I think then Uzronsi was still alive. Even my mother's uncle, he came back with his family. And then they now reassured them and told them no. Uzronsi called the emirs and they gave him their word that our people were protected. And they went back. None of those people came back again. That is what we have to be telling our people. Can you, and the people who committed that murder, a lot of them are still alive, going about. They have children now. Some of them are victims of bandits and all these things. They slaughtered innocent men and women in cold blood, pulled some people out of the plane that was returning from London, they made a stop in Kaduna or Kanu. They singled out Igbo people and mass killed them. In Lagos, they put Igbo officers, when they put Igbo officers into, they lock them up they will bring them one by one. If this one not Igbo, they will kill them. In Kaduna, they brought them out in the mess, in the parade ground, blue, whatever. Everybody came out, they came and singled out. And they'll just tell you that it's Igbo coup. Let us forget about it. No! It cannot. We have to bring out the name of those people that they murdered and be reading it out. If you have their pictures, bring it and be showing it to the world every day. Even when we die, continue to show it.
Those things, let me break you down a little bit. Those things is available and it can only work once Biafra succeed getting recognition. Once we are full condemn, we can be able to persecute all these men because Nigeria committed crime against humanity. And there is no way you can remain in one Nigeria and persecute the government of Nigeria. It's not possible. That is why I am telling you, my brother, that the only way for us to end Nigeria and persecute them, all these people that are alive, for them to pay what they have committed is once Biafra is a full nation. Then we will sue them. Then other countries will join us to judge the case. You cannot be in your father's house and take your father to court and win your father. It's not easy. So that is what we are. That is why, for me these days, like I said, I told you before, what I'm doing here, like people like Peter Obi, is like people are like Mexico. When Mexico finally fighting for their country, people said no. Their own people was against them. Even a reverend father, even the reverend sisters was against those that issued the declaration of Namibia, the declaration of Mexico. People was against it. Their own citizen. What happened? They banished all of them. People like Putobi will banish in Biafra land because he's a Fulani man by action or through his blood. The only thing that ends all this shenanigans is one thing. When Mexico declared their country, their people was against it. The politicians was against it. But because of a declaration is a legal way to achieve a lost country or a new one. The legal win illegal. Look at those today who in America today. What happened in America between the 1717? Have you checked about it? When America is declared their country, people of America banished 80,000 of the citizens. America that people are in today, being happy, enjoying their life, eating burger, eating this and the other one, and all these things. When America was fighting, their people was against them. Even the Anglican bishop was against the movement. But what happened? When America finally got recognition, the first country ever to recognize America was Morocco in Africa. Morocco, when America declares their declaration in 1770, August 12th, when they declare what happened, the people turned against it. America waited for 4 good years until France recognizes them and they support them to chase away British. They turn back. Over 80,000 citizens of America flew away from America. They form another country today. The same thing happened in Namibia. The same thing happened in Algeria, in Africa here. I was playing the punishment of Mexico, except that you enter the stage. The next program I could have done this evening is about the punishment that Algeria give to the people in Africa who was against Algeria to become a country. Like today, USB, we have redeclared United States of Biafra like every other country in the world, and people was against it. The punishment will come. I am not preaching anything about Nigeria anymore. I have left, and that is why I said I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. And let me tell you, in all these countries, one of example, I find out you are good in history. Check the history of how Namibia succeeded from South Africa. When Namibia issued declaration of Namibia seeking for recognition, what the US is doing today, 8 organization was attacking the SWAPO that issued the declaration of Namibia as a country. What happened? They succeeded at recognition. Namibia, the problem in South Africa today will not solve because the people of Namibia who was against Namibia, that Namibia rented 100 trailer from South Africa and pushed their people into that 100 trailer, pushed them away into South Africa. They are also those coming from South Africa today. Today, they are among those who are seeking for another country that come out from South Africa again. It's a high time if you never join US declared, I want to know this. Now we have gotten it right. How every other country in the world, our people will never understand what is government in exile. If not for Simon Ekpa, I never know what's government in exile until Simon. So I will start researching government in exile. I find out that in Africa, 15 countries was the first to achieve true government in exile. I found out that Belgium was the first country in this world that used government in exile, being another person's country, achieved their country when they lost it. I found out that when Poland lost their country, they only get true government in exile and issue redeclared. I found out that when people of Ireland lost their country, that's what happened to them. So now that we are on this right track, let's forget about Nigeria history. We now need to bring our history. We now rewrite that wrong history Nigeria has written about us through our country, United States of Biafra. Today, the Biafra has entered the world map back. Biafra has entered world map back with the name arrow we pointing to you on the head, the new country, United States of Biafra, in African map. Go to that map where they remove the plight of Biafra, put the plight of Bonny. That plight of Bonny has turned to plight of Biafra back, my brother. There is no two ways. And people never believe when America was fighting. People never believe when Plan was doing it. People never believe when Namibia was doing their own against South Africa. I am telling you from today that if you are not championing what will trigger recognition, what will make the world to know that we have gotten it right, we are wasting our time. The delay is dangerous, my brother. Let us move forward. Let us leave all this so that we will right and put and the petition and sue those that have murdered us and massacre our people. P2B is no option. P2B is a one Nigeria. P2B is like Isaac Nandazik Iwe. Today, my brother, can you give example of lineage of Nandazik Iwe? Can you give example of it? The time is gone.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's just that you can't. There's no way you can talk about our history without talking about Nigeria
All
and
this,
the past.
yes,
So
yes.
but it's not like what I'm just for is I want us to come together. All these.
We will come. We already come together. The togetherness,
No,
I told you, come
no.
to support your country. We are together. No other way.
No, hold on. What I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this ongoing division now going on. That's what I'm talking about. So
Exactly what I'm saying. We are saying the
I'm
same thing.
appealing. I'm appealing. No, hold on. I'm appealing to all quarters involved. Please, let's come together. When I mean come together, I really mean we have to look past what is it that any of us have done. That someone ate money, someone did not come for meetings, someone what are those things when your enemy is killing you, trying to take your land, taking your oil, So it's like you're misplacing priority and you're magnifying what your brother did to you, making a mountain out of it when your real enemies is almost about to he's almost finishing you off. So that's what our people should do. All the people, everybody, we should calm down and bury our ego, so fall in line behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We can't have two captains. We can't have two captains now. If you don't like him more, we can't. How does it help us?
We are not having two captains. What we have now is what they call continuity. Let me give you an example. When Nelson Mandela was in prison, he has second in command. The second in command of NHC, his action to seek another foreign official recognition of South Africa to end apartheid regime was why Nelson Mandela come out from prison, becomes a president. You are a history, you know history. Do you know about Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya? That when he was in prison, his second in command issued declaration of issue what they call official declaration of Kenya and achieve recognition. Jomo Kenyatta comes out to become a president of a country. What of Namibia? When Namibia was fighting, their first leader was in prison. And the transition happened that another person takes over from where Nelson Mandela stopped. And
okay,
so today, what we are doing is a race without. Go on.
Let me ask you this question: is Ngozi Orazabeze able to work with Chris Nwogu? Those two people, are they able to come together and work together? Or are they working together?
Let me answer you direct.
Yeah.
You see, I want you to take your time to check what is meaning of redeclaration of a lost country. One, I want to check out, research on your own time, what is difference between government in exile and the organization of group of people that was being registered as an organization. What is the difference of these two things? I want you to check these things I'm mentioning to you. And I also want you to know that this was direct for me this night. Ngozi Orazabeze has opened platforms and said, this is a platform for IPOB. Anyone who belong, come, let us have our mindset together and digest what we are doing. And in the real sense for Biafra to become a exit Nigeria is only what Ngozi Orazabeze is doing now. Is how Biafra will be a country. Do you know that in the United Nations Charter, Article 2 in bracket 4 says A group of people with the protest on the street is only asking for pity and the self-determination that they should ask Nigeria to stop treating them right. That a protest is not a way to have a country. That organization can never be recognized as a country. That they see IPOB organization as a political movement of the people of IPOB under the name of IPOB. That is just a political movement. What is it is? We are talking about difference of government in, and I want you to check in Africa. How many countries in Africa, how many governments in exile do we have in Africa that succeed becomes a country? Those issue declaration. Without you transition into a government in exile and issue, if you lost the country, you will issue a declaration. If you are just new, you will issue declaration of that country. This is how many countries are become safe, not by organization, not by any other thing that is happening today. That's why I told you the only thing anyone has to do is to bring your idea, come to USB. Ngozi Arabeze, I followed her last week Sunday. She went to last 2 weeks Sunday. She went to talk in Ireland and Belgium to talk to the people of IPOB organization for them to understand what the word called transition. Transition starts from your family when you are not a married man and when you got married and when you start giving child. This is what is called transition. There is a 3 stage for you to have a country. 1 is protest under organization. 2 is to transition to government in exile. The final one is to issue the declaration of that lost country and start seeking for recognition. That is how it works. So if anybody today say you want peace, you want Biafra as a country, Biafra has come. That is why I asked you, do you know about the brokers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? January 1st, 2022, before he was kidnapped in June, he said that we should repeat the history of Syria, Yemen, and also the history of Somalia. And the question is, what is their history? Their history was these two. They transitioned from organization name into a government in exile and issued their declaration of their lost countries and their recognition and come back and take over. It took Somalia 10 years in exile before they can come and take over their country. It took Syria 13 years before they can come back. It took Namibia 30 good years when they formed their government, the form organization called SWAPO, Southwest African Organization, is the name they used to start. In 1960, Namibia transitioned officially into government in exile in Tanzania, in Zambia, and Angola. They issue official declaration of their country. They now, from there, form government in exile structure, maintain the status quo of the world, how other countries achieve their own and become a member of the UN, that achieve recognition. They remain in exile for 30 years before they can come back and take over their country in the hands of South Africa. It's not by protest, it's not by organization, it's by only the name government in exile that must issue declaration, my brother. And there is no way around the bush. If anybody today wants Biafra, they should link up to Ngozi Arabeze. She is making everything humanly possible to unite us together. She opened the WhatsApp. Are you on that WhatsApp where you have IPOB, USB, Bridge, Fallback, anything you call yourself, you know, Biafra? That WhatsApp has over 2,000 people there. The people that are talking, and we're having our mind together there. That is how to prove that we want unity, we want togetherness, only in the name of this country, no other way, my brother. Do you know that IPOB has protested for 14 years? Only protest. Do you know that Namibia protested for 3 years? They leave protests on the street and form government in exile. Do you know that Algeria protested for 4 years and leave protests and transform government in exile? Do you also know that Somalia did not protest for 1 day? They just set ahead from government in exile in Kenya and Ethiopia. They achieved today they are all countries. Our own, we have protested for 14 years. My brother, 14 years protest. The world said that we are making on social media. The awareness is, time of awareness is over. It's a time to prove that you want a country. Through what? You must look at what the word they call transition to government in exile and the issue redeclaration of a lost country. This is what we need to understand. not name IPOB. It's not a way. Mazan cannot pray for a country, Republic of Biafra. He did not pray that IPOB must bring Biafra. He said, if you know what you can do to bring Biafra as a country, go on and bring it. Is it not true? So why are we wasting our time?
Well, no, I see. I appreciate everything you're saying, and thanks for giving me all of these details. But one thing I know is that, given the nature of our people, it's very important for both parties to even within IPOB, they already have the factions. So it's very important for me now. I feel that the two very strong groups at international level is Ngozi Oraweze, and then
please correction. Ngozi Oraweze is not a group. Please correction.
Ngozi is a country. Ngozi is acting head of state of a country waiting for recognition. That is why I told that today the Biafra map has come back to the world map. If you don't have it, I will give you my number. I can go to Google, just type, where can I find United States of Biafra map in the world map? You go see here, my brother. You will see it live and direct. Here's the United States of Biafra, not organization anymore, not a group anymore. What you are saying now is what happened in Namibia. After Namibia did what Ngozi Oraweze did, 8th group was attacking the one that is acting like Ngozi Oraweze. When the UN started to recognize Namibia as a country, they recognized only SWAPO. SWAPO is like when we mention Biafra government in exile that issue a redeclaration of United States of Biafra was lost in 1967 to 1970. In the continuity, in the modern day world, to call it what? United States of Biafra.
What where that no when the redeclare for yes. 3 or 4 people just redeclare. It does not matter. When the time comes, it's the people that redeclare first. Thank you very much for this education.
Yes, you can go on, Wanda. Go on. My brother, let's leave Wanda to talk to us. Wanda, happy, may please go on. Let's hear your voice.
So I know you know that this emotional blackmail in the by my ear, and this emotion name Ife, you forget that Obun Madu Megi Fesigi sorry. Then why do we have police and jail? So if any Naburo sorry. I had this hard note saying, oh, Makonya and Mifa. Imagine for that Namadu Tuego, somebody Amanye account. It's not nothing. And that's why I keep liking Putin. When you do, if you don't put your nation first, nobody will put it first for you. Gone are the days of you can keep doing your group, oh. You can join any group. When you say come together. What this Biafra that we are looking for, is it for me? Is it for Chino? If you decided that you don't want to move forward, you want to continue in organization, make sure that when you're there, you define what that organization is going to do to bring you a nation. So, and when you say come together where? In somebody's parlor? Or so where? In a meeting ground in one African country or European country to be carrying flag. This stage, the Kitabura stage, I know that most of the problem we have is lack of education, poor information. People are not well informed. Chino that is here was once thinking he's an IPOB member. He was in a
yes. I found two pulling Kenya and Ozioga units na local government.
But yes, you didn't know because you thought that by all this thing you're doing is how you're going to get
protest. You know, for IPOB now one day we'll be doing protests. My brother Anom Nampo, 2 of my friends are there. Mbatoha Nampo massacre. I was there live and direct. Name of IPOB under UCMF4. I was there. I enemy protest. We are doing protests with hope that one day, at the world we said you have under the name of the protest, they have killed you too much. So I never knew that it's not working in this way at all.
That is not how it's done. Somebody is here educating you how it's done. Yeah, you have phone. We're the age of technology.
I like him because we are communicating together. And there's something he said. He said that he's getting the headlines of things. I want him to go and research. I want us, before I tell you anything, my brother, there is no country when they achieve their country that they do not have what we are passing through today. My brother, are you here? Had not. Are you here?
Yeah.
Just hold on. I want to play you something. Just it will take us only 2 minutes because I'm going to end the program. So you're going to get late here. Look at what I researched. Let me tell you this thing. Look at, I said, I need all information about more of all the organization that was before SWAPO issue a peaceful declaration of Republic of Namibia in 1960. The 8th group that was against them. Now, listen. When Namibia in 1960 run into exile in Angola, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe, when run into these 3 countries with their people, they issue declaration. They come together in Angola and stop protests. Do you also know that Namibia begged their people for sending them on the streets for 3 years and 10 months for massacring them? South Africa was buying them, arresting them, kidnapping them. They apologized them, said, we have led you in a wrong way for 3 years. That now we are going to stop street movement, that we are going to transition into government in exile. When they transition, any government in exile without issue official declaration and they have document education in their hand is just a mere political party. This is how UN view IPOB and whatever we are doing then. I never knew until I begin to do research. Now, after Namibia issued their declaration, 8 group, a different group like this now, IPOB divided into 2. Under the government in exile, after our DP has issued the re-declaration, you have the self calling himself Ogenkere. You have the one calling himself BGC. All these groups is what happened in Namibia. That is why I always teach history. I said in my platform, I teach only history. I always said history is repeating. Look at what is happening to this country. What happened here is happening right now. So listen to 8 group that came out after the SWAPO has issued declaration of Namibia circa 1960, like what the did on November 29. Now listen to this, my brother. Listen to this. How we can get this Biafra we are looking for. Listen to this. Have 8 group.
Before the UN-supervised elections and the subsequent formal implementation of independence in March 1990, several distinct political alliances and parties existed in Namibia. Many of these organizations actively opposed SWAPO's vision for a centralized state or its designation as the sole legitimate representative of the Namibian people. Here are 8 organizations that were active or formed during that period, complete with their founding dates. 1. Democratic Turnhall Alliance, DTA. Date founded November 5, 1977. Background. The DTA was the primary opposition alliance formed explicitly to counter SWAPO. It brought together numerous small, ethnically defined internal political parties and traditional leaders following the South African-sponsored Turnhall Constitutional Conference. It favored a multi-ethnic, federal system and property protections. 2. Southwest Africa National Union, SWANU. Date founded September 27, 1959. Background. SWANU was actually Namibia's very first national liberation movement. While it also opposed South African colonial rule, it grew to strongly oppose SWAPO's political dominance and monopoly on international recognition. In the lead-up to the 1989 elections, SWANU factions joined broader opposition fronts to challenge SWAPO electorally. 3. Action Christian National, ACN. Date founded 1989, registered specifically for the transition elections. Background. The ACN was an electoral front dominated primarily by the National Party of Southwest Africa, which originally formed back in July 1925. It served to represent conservative interests, particularly among the white minority population, and was deeply opposed to SWAPO's socialist economic platforms. 4. National Unity Democratic Organization, NUDO. Date founded September 25, 1964. Background. Founded by Chief Hosea Kutako and the Herero Chiefs Council, NUDO was created to advocate for the interests of the Herero people. Although it initially cooperated in anti-colonial frameworks, it strongly opposed SWAPO's centralized leadership and later became a prominent founding member of the anti-SWAPO Democratic Turnbull Alliance (DTA) in November 1977. 5. SWAPO Democrats, SWAPOD. Date founded June 10, 1978. Background: this party was formed in Sweden by Andreas Schipanga, a co-founder and prominent leader of SWAPO who broke away from the main movement. Schipanga and his followers accused SWAPO's top leadership of authoritarianism and human rights abuses in its exile camps. SWAPOD operated as an internal moderate opposition party in Namibia. 6. United Democratic Front, UDF. Date founded 1989, formed as an alliance for the independence elections. Background: the UDF was launched as a coalition of several smaller internal parties, including the Damara Council and the Christian Democratic Party. It positioned itself as a centrist alternative, opposing what it labeled as SWAPO's totalitarian and one-party tendencies, eventually winning 4 seats in the 1989 Constituent Assembly. 7. Republican Party, RP. Date founded October 5, 1977. Background: founded by Dirk Mudge after he broke away from the hardline White National Party, the Republican Party was aimed at white moderates who favored a peaceful negotiated transition away from strict apartheid, but wanted to prevent a SWAPO-led unitary government. It immediately joined the DTA alliance 1 month later. 8. Federal Convention of Namibia, FCN. Date founded late 1988, early 1989. Background: the FCN was an ethnic and regionalist coalition consisting of several groups, including the Rehoboth Free Democratic Party. The FCN explicitly opposed SWAPO's unitary state design, strongly advocating instead for a federal system that would guarantee local autonomy for historic territories like Rehoboth.
I hope, my brother, do you follow this reading? I hope you can understand it clearly now. There is, see, even in our family, anywhere in a family, it does not stop to do the right thing. Look at Namibia. You see what is happening in IPOB today and what happened in Biafra government in exile. The SWAPO was the one that transitioned government in exile. They are the one who issued declaration. They up in a hall in Angola, and in 1960 opened up and said, from today, from today being December, that we have declared official that our name is Republic of Namibia, not organization called SWAPO, which they call Southwest African Organization. Do you also know at a time that this SWAP, another group start answering SWAPOD? What is, you had it here, that all of this 8 group was opposing against the declaration of Namibia as a country through government in exile that issue official declaration of Namibia as a country. My brother, Namibia, when the world, the UN said that they recognize Namibia and they want to conduct election, is this SWAPO, that first one that issued declaration of Namibia, was the reason why Namibia is a country today. The world recognizes them. UN recognizes them. I want to understand where we are. I hope it stands clear to you. For we cannot be together to achieve Biafra as a country. It cannot be possible. But the right thing is that, let me give you another example. If you're living in America today, when America 1776 declared did a declaration of their country, 56 people being here in America will be a country out of Great Britain. What happened? Madu 500 sign with Anglican bishop and sisters, and even black slaves that Nafa Chok America were a country. They were better remain under the King Charles, under the Great Britain, that is better for them. Could you imagine now signature of Madu 56 with Madu 500? I want to understand how countries began and where we are and what we have to do to become a country. Is what has happened November 29, 2024 in Helsinki, Finland, by one and only and the cabinet members Dr. Ngozi Orabeze. This is only way. Look at after SWAPO declare, you had it here open that 8 group comes out to start 8 organization comes out, start attacking the declaration like what is passing on today. My brother, there is, and that is why I because in this world life we are living, history must be repeating. And if there is no history, there is no future. If there is no history, there is no life to live. Look at how every other country. I'm explaining Africa, Namibia. This was through South Africa. If you're a member of IPOB, go and check how Namibia succeeded from South Africa. That is the history I give you right now. How 8 group was attacking the original one that issued the declaration, my brother. Without the declare of this Biafra, we are not going anywhere. And it has done and dusted. The world has already known that Biafra. Go to Google, type which year did the redeclaration of Biafra happen. I'm working on November 29. I'm working for you declare. What do we want except to come to this government? We can be able to. What we are looking for now is wanting recognition. What America look for, and the first country near America was Morocco in Africa. After Morocco, or bro France. After France, or bro Ireland. There is, in fact, things that has happened in the past. We have wasted many years for us to achieve Biafra as a country. So I hope it sounds clear to you, my brother, for you to know that we can never be together to achieve Biafra. What we measure together is our recognition. Another recognition comes with pens. It comes with punishment. Anybody who is not supporting right now should go. People are wasting time. Last week, Friday, I went on USB when they are doing ID card of United States of Biafra. The number was over 800, over 1,000, taking the ID card. People think that this is not happening. All the amending man of Vamnanya, Otosi were made the enemy of Namibian people of Vamnanya when SWAPO their recognition, and the world declares from today henceforth, we are recognize you as a country. My brother, that is where we are. I don't change my word. I don't paint word. I say this bitter truth to everyone who comes across my page. That is where I stand.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the detailed explanations. I just want to say sorry if I miss if I miss characterized. No. I'm talking of when I addressed Ngozi Orabeze as a group. I understand her position. So if I didn't, yeah. So So thank you for all the details you've given.
My phone number is open. If you want more detail for you to read on your own, I have a WhatsApp group where I put those who want to read. I post all my research in that group. And Biafrans read from there to understand what we have to do to achieve Biafra as a country. My brother, I will go okay. The only time I know now, we are seeking for recognition like every other country. How many countries in this world, few of them that want declare? You should not go to the best that want to declare country. Go to the best about the first, and you're not going to be the last. In this world, we're not gonna be now over 100 and something countries that the woman issued their declaration. Do you know about Israel? No one why Proto declare Israel in 1968, May 14, one for that matter. Do you know about Algeria? Do you know about Angola in Africa? Do you know about Eritrea in Africa? Do you know about Zambia? Do you know about Congo? Do you know all these countries was declared by a woman? Do you know about Canada? Do you know about Brazil? The history is out there. What she did, that she has repeated the history. How many other countries become a country in this world? I have it in paper. I have all this paper with me. Once I research and find it out, I write and keep for myself for history. Let me give you about 10 countries whom I declare. But not wine for rotten and pupils. Today, our name is also country happened. Look at it. Brazil, 1822, September 2nd, on wine declared Brazil as a country. What of Israel? A woman declared it as a country. 1968 by a woman. 1948, May 14, a woman. What of Congo? 1960, a woman. What of Ghana? A woman declared Ghana because Kwame Nkrumah was arrested. The man who's supposed to pilot the affair of South Africa was arrested. A woman declares it. What of South Africa in their movement in exile? Woman was participated. What of Belarus that got their freedom from Russia? Woman. What of Madagascar in Africa, my brother? There are many countries in this world. There are countries today because their first leader was in prison and a woman stand up and declare or issue the declaration of that lost country. Today, they're all a country. My brother, Brazil or no country. Israel or no country. Madagascar in Africa, no country. Belarus that was there from Russia or a far country. He has a country in the one one when issue the reading of all these countries in the world. Because of the British in my divide and rule. We have come to the fight. Now end point. The end point to declare go Biafra. The actually need remember now. If you want Biafra as a country, now it has appeared in the map of the world. In the map of the world, here appear with the name United States of Biafras as the new country that's about to emerge in the world. We asking for recognition in this present today's world. Here, my brother, 75 government in exile. Out of the 75 government in exile, the one I break here into 3 places. And when first 10 who declare the active now choke a fabro country. A mano USB declared on November 29 in the world. We are now in the 4th position in the world. In Africa, we are in number 2. Do you also know that? So it's not about how we think, it's not about what we feel. The criteria for us to be a country is not given by us, because you can't eat your cake and have it back. You can't write your exam and mark your result. The world are the one doing it. As I told you, out of 75 exile government, if you want, I will play it for you. USB as of today, we are in number 4 in the world. One of the most effective one, seek for recognition. In Africa, we are in number 2. Can you hear? And into these organizations in exile in the world, IPOB is not there. They are not a government in exile that's scheme for recognition of a country. They are just organizations. Even in Africa, IPOB are the boy. Africa soft now, I'm talking to you. And you 9 governments in exile in Africa. Only 9 countries last year in Africa. 9 countries. Kafadi, now shift in Africa. All of them are in exile. Some in France, some in UK, some in different areas of the world and seeking for recognition, like what we are doing today, what USB is doing. That is why I said that this is the first time we have ever gotten it right, because of November 2024. My brother, there is no time to waste. And I don't do what people are doing. I do research. And after research, I bring it out to show our people that this is how other countries achieve their own country. That is how we are going to. If you go to school today, I know repeating the history. Are you the first to go to school? And for you to pass out in school, you must follow the law that guides in school. Is it not true? So let us not waste our time anymore. And wasting our time. We are on the final point. The recognition of Ghana chose the America for 3 years. Oh, yeah, kind of right now. In your one, Namibia for 30 years.
Okay, thank you so much. So the thing is, thank you for allowing me on your platform. I don't belong to any group per se or advocating for any group. I'm more of like an IPOB member. That's how I started off. But me, what I want is Biafra. Anybody that is talking about Biafra genuinely, I'm for that person. And so when it's not like I'm advocating for any group. I'm just looking for those people who are really genuinely looking for Biafra. And all these things we've talked about, it's helpful to so many Igbo people out there and Biafrans, because we need to keep having this conversation. Remember I told you that the level of conviction and understanding you have, you're lucky that you're this passionate about Biafra. I don't know how many Igbo people are really, really that passionate about Biafra, So, So if we get Biafra today now, we'll have to keep having the conversation. If not, we'll become another South Sudan. That's why we should be patient enough. It can be frustrating, it can be annoying, it can be, but we should be patient enough because of the nature of our people. That is part of, remember that part of why we're in this situation is because of how we are. We are very brave, we are very Republican, we are very smart, but at the same time, we are very individualistic. So we are prone to this proliferation of so many groups where many of them have good intention and all those things. But what we don't want to avoid is to not have a Biafra where we will clash, because it's easy, it's not hard. Just go on social media alone. We don't even have military might yet. If we have that, so that's what I'm saying. So thank you for all these things you're doing. I already see your track and everything. I follow you on social media. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on your platform. Yeah.
Honestly, I welcome everybody. Once we come, let us say the truth the way it is. That is one thing I believe on it, my brother. I welcome everybody. I want questions. I need people to ask me questions about USB redeclared, about government in exile. I want to ask me about how to get Biafra as a country. Once you come, we start from somewhere. It can be annoying, yes, but I want to have that patience for us to understand exactly what we are looking for. That no ife na-ata arụ na anyị ga-enwe ndị kwe na ndị ekweghị n'ime ya, we will have it. Mana ọ ga-stop anyị inweta Biafra as a country. Now that we are on the right track, we have never been right since all this while. That is why the word I'm talking about Biafra. Now, as I'm talking to you, USB has sent our document of declaration and all our constitution that is in Amazon. It has been transferred to over 120 something countries. Has been now looking at, they have constitution, the government in exile, they are doing the other one. Very soon, this year, I'm telling you, how Biafra becomes a country by when people are sleeping. You remember that people were sleeping when when the government issued the declaration through our Congo's Arabes. You remember that happens in this life. And today, look at where we are. The same thing as saying to one country, we are saying, from today, we have recognized United States of Biafra as a sovereign nation. Very soon, that is why I rushed to go and take my ID, to go and capture my ID card, so I have my own as a citizen before that thing happens. So please, do not panic. You are free to come anytime you see me on live. You are free to come. We will have interaction. We will discuss. We will rub our mindset together to present the truth to our people. Thank you so much for coming. And I appreciate you for being here up to this moment, that two of us are almost ending the program together. Thank you so much, Mazi. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, my people, we could have not finished the program. We programmed for this evening. We will have part 2 of it because of our time. And I thank all of us in the comments that I remain calm and be flowing as we are moving. We need these kind of things. I need those who are still doubting. I want them, let us use evidence, fact and figure to prove to them that we are getting it right. That is where I stand. That is my mission on this, to break it down to you. Use example where it has happened. Look at how many there are. Look at how they got it. It's not by another way. That's why I said I don't run propaganda. I don't run propaganda. So please, let me refresh your mind before I end the program with the headline of today. On my type is I never see. What I mean is Biafrans learn from the punishment Mexico and Algeria give to their people that was against their declaration. That we should learn from it. So let us play it again. I will play only Mexico. Tomorrow we will back to do what? We are going to be back to give the people that are doubting USB the punishment of a country called Algeria in Africa. Give to their people that was abusing, insulting the government of Mexico that issued the declaration. After that, tomorrow we will dive into the best way of having a lost country back. You will hear something tomorrow, because we are digging more deep to bring all the evidence to our people to know that if you are attacking USB, you are attacking your life. So listen to this.
Following the consummation of Mexican independence in 1821, Spain stubbornly refused to recognize the new country's sovereignty. Spain held onto the fortress of San Juan de Ulua in Veracruz harbor to block trade, and rumors of a Spanish reconquest created an atmosphere of intense paranoia. To protect its fragile independence and force global recognition, the early Mexican Republic enacted severe, sweeping punishments against any residents or citizens suspected of favoring Spain or opposing Mexico's international recognition. 1. Capital punishment for treason. The earliest laws passed by the nascent Mexican government made it clear that dissent regarding sovereignty was a mortal offense. The law, early decrees established that any resident who openly spoke out against Mexican independence, sabotaged diplomatic recognition, or assisted Spain would be legally classified as a traitor. The execution, the most famous enforcement of this, occurred during the Arenas Conspiracy of 1827, a plot led by a Spanish friar named Joaquin Arenas to overthrow the government and return Mexico to Spanish rule. When the plot was uncovered, the Mexican government executed the conspirators, including a Mexican general, Gregorio Arana, and several friars by firing squad for treason. 2. Stripping of public office, the Empleos Law. On May 10, 1827, Mexico passed a decree targeting peninsulares, Spanish-born individuals, many of whom had lived in Mexico for decades and considered themselves citizens. The punishment: the law completely banned Spanish-born individuals from holding any civil, military, or ecclesiastical church position. The impact: this effectively crippled the livelihoods of thousands of people, forcing Spanish-born judges, soldiers, and the majority of Catholic clergy out of their administrative spaces until Spain formally recognized Mexico. 3. Mass expulsion and exile, leyes de expulsión. As the threat of a Spanish invasion grew closer, ultimately manifesting in the failed Spanish invasion of 1829, the Mexican Congress shifted from removing people from office to throwing them out of the country entirely. Between 1827 and 1833, Mexico passed several expulsion laws. The first wave, December 1827, ordered the immediate exile of all unmarried Spanish men, soldiers who had surrendered during the war, and regular clergy. They were given 6 months to leave the country. The second wave, March 1829, expanded the expulsion to target married men, merchants, and landowners. Roughly 3/4 of the Spanish-born population living in Mexico was forced into exile as refugees. The law explicitly stated that these exiles would only be allowed to return to their homes once Spain extended formal international recognition to Mexico. 4. Confiscation of property and wealth. To fund the young republic's massive military expenses and punish those loyal to Madrid, the state targeted the wealth of anti-recognition citizens. The government systematically stripped expelled individuals and loyalists of their haciendas, large estates, businesses, farms, and personal fortunes. Their properties were seized by the state and redistributed to loyal Mexican criollos, Mexican-born elites, or used to pay off national debts. The eventual resolution: this era of harsh internal persecution finally began to cool down in late 1834 when General Antonio López de Santa Anna revoked the remaining expulsion laws. On December 28, 1836, Spain finally signed a peace treaty officially recognizing Mexico as an independent nation, allowing surviving exiles to legally return and reclaim their civilian lives.
I hope if you are still doubting what we are doing after their declaration, their people start attacking them. Their people try to stop the recognition. And what happened? They could not stop it. And when Mexico achieved recognition, they give them way. Is it P2B? He will die in exile. All of them will run. You see you who open YouTube talking down USB. You let her cry her die no. After Biafran map has come back to the world map. United States of Biafra Ozuoroge. Look at the right way to achieve Biafra, that we are on a right track at this stage that we are into. The only thing you used to do is to attack and you continue insulting and abusing USB declared. Continue. Look at it here in the world map. United States of Biafra. Look at the arrow, look at everything. The map has come back to the map of the world and we are wasting time. Continue. All your plans failed. That is why you are attacking this government. but you will cry had I known. Many of you have chosen you will die and buried in exile. Many of you have chosen that you will die and buried in exile. Because if Namibia can chase away their own, if America can chase away their own, remember Tobias said that we are going to use the punishment that South Korea gives to their people. Have I come to play with South Korea punishment? Very soon, when I fully got it, all the research I'm looking for, I will play it for you. You will hear, you will cry one day. And I am here to give you redemption that will remove you from all these pains and all this that is about to happen to you. My people, we are going to end it here today. I never believed to be 3 hours. I said 1 hour, 30 minutes, I will end the program. But as the Spirit lead, and as people I am waiting for them to be coming to this platform, I want to go out to those who don't even know about USB. That is really I want to go. Please like and share. If you not subscribe, unsubscribe to the page. My people. Yes, let us see the comment section today. Honestly, I never see the comment section throughout today. The first person, I never see Amaji Chigozie. I hope everything is okay with him because he's always the first here. Amaji, I beg, made well with you. Honestly. Dangozi said, hashtag, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Hashtag, Nigeria must exit Biafra land. Yes, so, and they also said, Mazi Chinondewo Nam Isike. Thank you. Mama Simon is also here. Mama Simon Eba. We have Mama Simon, that Simon. You know that Simon lost her page. I posted the link here yesterday. Please, if you never subscribe on that Simon platform, that Simon at official, please go and subscribe. Please go and do that. Mama Simon said, good afternoon, Mazi Chino. Keep on doing Biafrans proud. Remain blessed. All hell USB. All hell. Simon. You are right. Pastor Rose, River Goddess. Mazudo Deregi, Biafra TV. Deregi ma. Thank you so much. Blessing said, greetings, Biafrans. Greetings, Biafran. Biafra TV. Thank you so much. Thank you. I am a citizen of the United of Biafra. Thank you so much. We're going to run it fast because of my time. Hashtag Nigeria must go out of Biafra land because Biafra is a nation now. That is it. That is where we are. Ushena, my brother. Thank you so much. Good evening from homeland. I know all of you. Blessing also said again. Hashtag Nigeria must go out of United States of Biafra. A newly declared independent nation, we are not going back. Yes, so that is exactly. And the Olusegun God said, hashtag, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Hashtag, Nigeria must go. Thank you. I see you, Edith Ogene Mazin. Good evening from here also. And I see you, Emmanuel. Good evening, sir. Good evening, my brother. I thank you. I see James Chigozie. I did not see Amaj Chigozie. Where have you been, Amaj? Maz Chinondewo, you are doing marvelous well. More grace upon you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are running fast. Thank you. I see you here. David. Thank you so much. DPM and the others is what affected her. They really yet to realize that we are really in a government and the reality of life. USB must not condone laziness in the guise of statement. Yeah, honestly, I now chop a empty portfolio in a USB. Equem Justice, thank you so much. You are here till the end. They were my brother. Thank you so much, Mazi. I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. We are not a country, we are a citizen. We are not organization. We are a country, we are a nation. Nigeria is created never to work. Yes, which is true. It's never to work. Actually, thank you so much. Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mazi Musa Afube. Mazi, thank you so much. Thank you. Flora, thank you so much. I am a citizen of United States of Biafra USB. Hashtag Nigeria must go out of Biafra land. Thank you. That is it. That is our code. Thank you for standing. P2B is never an option. is a dead human being alive. Our recognition is our goal now. That is where we are. You are on point. Mommy Flamenco said, if you are waiting for them to come back, you are making a mistake because they will not. They have already committed evil against our people. Yes, a very nice comment registered. Excellent. This is the moment. This is the most important. The US will declare is the most important, not only on that thing. Nigeria is trying to hard to bring destruction in our struggle, but they cannot do that because we are now a nation. We are not in struggle. We are in liberation phase. That is where we are. But they came late. Yes, you made it clearly. The time of criminality is over in this struggle, in this liberation phase. The new men and women are now running the government. Believe it or leave it. That is where we are. That is where we are. You are right, my brother. You share. Thank you, my brother. You are doing a great job for USB. Thank you also for being here and comment all the time. Thank you. Who shared your for? I am a citizen of United States of Biafra, USBG government. AU, that is true. I love it so much, the way you put it. I know Mazenande Kano very well. He will forgive these sabos. That is for Mazenande Kano. But the Constitution will judge everybody. Bishop Onaga said, hashtag, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. It was redeclared November 29, 2024 in Lati, Finland. You are right. Nigeria must go. Biafra is our nation. Thank you so much. I see you. Eke Oma. Hashtag, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Thank you. I am running because of my time. My time is crap. Time is going. Just want to make sure I get everybody involved. Thank you so much. And they also said, hashtag Nigeria must get off in list of Biafra nation. Thank you. And they also said here, who is this? Charles said, the worst criminal is Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. We are not talking about if all those one has gone. We have finished all of them. So please, for those who came late, I will do you one favor. I will only play the punishment that Mexico give to the people that never agree with them. And after that, I will end the program. So you will know why we are here this evening and what we have achieved. That the world is knowing that we are keeping the records and the history is repeating.
Following the consummation of Mexican independence in 1821, Spain stubbornly refused to recognize the new country's sovereignty. Spain held onto the fortress of San Juan de Ulua in Veracruz harbor to block trade, and rumors of a Spanish reconquest created an atmosphere of intense paranoia. To protect its fragile independence and force global recognition, the early Mexican Republic enacted severe, sweeping punishments against any residents or citizens suspected of favoring Spain or opposing Mexico's international recognition. 1. Capital punishment for treason. The earliest laws passed by the nascent Mexican government made it clear that dissent regarding sovereignty was a mortal offense. The law, early decrees established that any resident who openly spoke out against Mexican independence, sabotaged diplomatic recognition, or assisted Spain would be legally classified as a traitor. The execution, the most famous enforcement of this, occurred during the Arenas Conspiracy of 1827, a plot led by a Spanish friar named Joaquin Arenas to overthrow the government and return Mexico to Spanish rule. When the plot was uncovered, the Mexican government executed the conspirators, including a Mexican general, Gregorio Arana, and several friars by firing squad for treason. 2. Stripping of public office, the Empleos Law. On May 10, 1827, Mexico passed a decree targeting peninsulares, Spanish-born individuals, many of whom had lived in Mexico for decades and considered themselves citizens. The punishment? The law completely banned Spanish-born individuals from holding any civil, military, or ecclesiastical church position. The impact? This effectively crippled the livelihoods of thousands of people, forcing Spanish-born judges, soldiers, and the majority of Catholic clergy out of their administrative spaces until Spain formally recognized Mexico. 3. Mass expulsion and exile, leyes de expulsión. As the threat of a Spanish invasion grew closer, ultimately manifesting in the failed Spanish invasion of 1829, the Mexican Congress shifted from removing people from office to throwing them out of the country entirely. Between 1827 and 1833, Mexico passed several expulsion laws. The first wave, December 1827, ordered the immediate exile of all unmarried Spanish men, soldiers who had surrendered during the war, and regular clergy. They were given 6 months to leave the country. The second wave, March 1829, expanded the expulsion to target married men, merchants, and landowners. Roughly 3/4 of the Spanish-born population living in Mexico was forced into exile as refugees. The law explicitly stated that these exiles would only be allowed to return to their homes once Spain extended formal international recognition to Mexico. 4. Confiscation of property and wealth. To fund the young republic's massive military expenses and punish those loyal to Madrid, the state targeted the wealth of anti-recognition citizens. The government systematically stripped expelled individuals and loyalists of their haciendas, large estates, businesses, farms, and personal fortunes. Their properties were seized by the state and redistributed to loyal Mexican criollos, Mexican-born elites, or used to pay off national debts. The eventual resolution, this era of harsh internal persecution, finally began to cool down in late 1834 when General Antonio López de Santa Anna revoked the remaining expulsion laws. On December 28, 1836, Spain finally signed a peace treaty officially recognizing Mexico as an independent nation, allowing surviving exiles to legally return and reclaim their civilian lives.
Thank you. Good night.